breaking hearts and eventually all the rules. Matty T, Genevieve, and Eric James. It's the Crying Game.
It's like, that's fine.
Whatever.
It's like one a month.
It's fine.
Yeah.
These are long episodes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
most
they're
podcasts
long.
when they start are only a half hour long.
Yeah.
Ours are like 2 hours
long.
every one.
I
so.
think ideally, I'd like to have something posted every.
Also, we're like so funny that like people should just be re-listening to them
I
all
think
of
so
the time.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like if people listen to this, they already heard the Liam Neeson like knock it out of the park bit.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Yeah.
should be true.
Yeah,
I haven't listened to it yet.
it's really good. I was fucking
I heard it's great.
dying laughing.
I heard it is really great podcast to eat pizza to.
It's like one of the
think
best.
so.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think so,
We
too.
need more content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wednesday's a good day to post.
Yeah.
Take that Wednesday.
Take that Wednesday.
Taking back
yeah,
Wednesday.
Taking back
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Your
Yeah.
listening's calls all matter, so I know exactly what goes on.
I remember when that album came out, my friends like fucking loved it, and I remember like them be like, "You got to hear Taking Back Sunday," and they put the CD in, and as soon as it does that first line on the first song, I could not stop laughing.
Yeah.
And then like they like turned it off after like halfway
You
through the
ruined
second
it for
song
'em?
because I was like, what? Like that's your opening of like, hey, we're a band.
Gotta
Like
check
your
this out.
whiskey's cold, all matter, so I know exactly what goes on.
I hate
really
that
good
fucking
impression.
band. I hate all of those
It's-
bands.
Yeah, I have.
From
What was
the
it?
depths of
We've
hell.
talked about it before. Echolabia. What's that? That's the thing. Yeah, I mean it's so close that I don't feel bad saying it.
Echolabia is my favorite porn star.
Yeah. She's not my favorite porn star, but she's in my favorite porn.
She's an extra.
Yeah.
She's part of the crew.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, you know Best Boy on that porno I love, and that Best Boy's name is Echolabia.
Yeah.
Imagine if even if you were on the crew of a porno, you had to change your name to a porno name.
I love to think of it now too. Is like now I really want to watch the ending credits of some porn to find out. Is like, is there a Best Boy?
Yeah.
Is there a Best Boy? Like how far?
I think there's
did
only
they-
3
like,
people on a
yeah,
porn crew.
like
Director,
Yeah.
4. Director, 2 people, fucking guy holding camera and microphone.
how many gaffers?
Yeah.
How many assistant gaffers? Or is it just the one gaffer?
Can you imagine being the PA that's just like, dude, we need more jizz rags?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I remember.
You don't think there's like an industry term for that?
There probably is, yeah.
I remember.
Jizz
No, it's
rag.
just
Jizz rag. Yeah. That's the industry term.
We're insiders. I watch a lot of porn.
Yeah. I remember the first time I saw in like credits seeing assistant best boy, and then thinking just like, how good can this best boy be?
I could knock
If he
him off.
needs like, if he needs some help, like I don't know, he's a good boy.
Yeah.
Like even
Some
great
might say
boy. Yeah, it's like great. Yeah. Grandkid,
Grandkid.
which I would love to see on a
Grandchild.
grandkid.
Also Steven Spielberg's grandchildren.
Yeah.
They had production credits on this movie.
Yep. Assistant grandkid.
It's on that grandkid's IMDb.
Yeah. I just take like a third of the kisses. They take the brunt, but like you know, like just sometimes it's too much.
I take a third of the kisses.
Steven Spielberg loves to kiss
And,
grandkids.
he loves his grandkids.
He
What's wrong
loves
with that?
them.
Can't fucking breathe.
Also, we should
Does he
say
have
that
grandkids?
we should say that Steven Spielberg told us to say that.
He did tell us.
He
to
did.
say
So I'm kind of iffy if he actually does love his grandkids, because he was really adamant of just like, say I love my
that.
grandkids.
Tell him.
That's like really good. Those are 2 really good Steven Spielberg. I think you have to talk at the same time because he
Yeah.
has like 2 voices.
You better do it. That's why he's
Two
the best.
Yeah, 2 conflicting.
That's how Indiana Jones came out.
And that's how the last Indiana Jones came out.
That's his grandkid.
That was his grandkid. He was like, "You do it."
They're
kid."
all named Indiana Jones.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Just like George Foreman's kids.
Indiana's like a gender neutral name.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
yeah, absolutely.
Indianapolis Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why you
Indianapolis
dress like a
Jones,
bumblebee
yeah.
and why you dress like Indianapolis Jones?
I think most states are probably
Massachusetts. What gender is
That's
that?
gender neutral name.
Yeah.
Most states are gender neutral.
We're transgender here because we're so liberal, man.
Yeah.
My baby, Massachusetts.
My baby.
My baby.
My baby,
Welcome to
Massachusetts.
see my baby, Massachusetts.
Come see my baby.
New
Massachusetts.
Hampshire.
New
Whoa.
Hampshire.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Florida is a saint.
Newt Hampshire.
Newt's here.
Hey, Newt's here. Yeah.
Newt.
Hey guys,
Oh,
are we gonna
hey.
start this? Should we-
Yeah, we should probably start.
That was a good intro. That's a good running intro.
You know what? It's good to have
15,
a long
20
intro
minutes.
this time because it's been so long.
I've heard some people say that's their favorite part.
Yeah.
The
long intro, long
Nobody
rambling
said that.
intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense and isn't about this podcast at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, Crying Gang, we made it back. We're back. Jen's amazed by my dog. I brought my dog, Newt.
Mm-hmm.
She's cool.
Yeah, I won't be part of this podcast. I got better
Jen
things to do.
If you're worried about Jen's microphone being too quiet to hear, she just won't be speaking for this
Yeah.
podcast.
I have a bunch
Yeah.
of outfits.
Yeah.
Ready
I should have
for-
brought some of her costumes.
Ah!
She's got a dragon costume and a skunk costume and
Oh.
a Darth Vader costume. She really hates that one.
She's got
She
a,
jumped on my lap.
Yeah,
She's
but we're
licking
back.
All the grease off me. I don't need to take a shower today. No,
Yeah.
I don't. I love you.
There it is.
If you worry about Newt speaking on the podcast, she won't be.
Although that
She's a
sneeze
stupid
might happen.
fucking dog.
Yeah.
Look at me when I call you a stupid fucking dog.
All right, I'm looking at you, man. what
Newt's,
more do you want?
Newt's my property, and I can talk to her however I want.
I wonder if you can
you
hear-
know
if you can
pet
hear her
rules.
breathing.
You probably can. Newt, breathe into the microphone.
That was a lick. That's not what he said. I'm sorry to yell at your dog.
No, you can yell at her too. She's my property. Everybody
Okay.
can yell at her.
All right.
Ah,
I really did lose it there when I.
you really tore into her. I was like, well, I'm okay with people
Yeah.
yelling at my dog, but that's fucked up.
Hey, back it up, Clint.
Yeah, take it easy. Almost that ethnic slur against dogs in there.
Yeah.
Is Clint?
You're nothing but a flea bag.
Oh,
You mongrel.
listen up, you pound pup.
Yeah,
You pound.
that's Newt's puppies are in an ice internment camp right now, so that's kind of
Oh,
fucked
Jesus. You know they're keeping dogs in cages.
up.
It's not funny, but we're hilarious.
I'm sorry,
That's the
everybody.
issue.
It's just the hot button issue right now. I'm not for putting people's children in
No, I
prison
think we can
camps.
safely say that.
Yeah, Crying Gang is firmly against ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can all agree with that. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe no,
I don't even like
I'm
water.
super against it, yeah.
I don't even like water to begin with, so I don't see what
Don't
the
do that,
Frozen
Abdul.
water.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know how-
steam, all of it. No, it's the worst. Yeah, it hasn't helped our month. I'm sure. When was
I
the
feel
last
less
time we
patriotic
recorded?
than
yeah,
ever.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, shit's fucked.
I heard that Massachusetts is the least patriotic state. I agree. I feel that way.
Really?
It's
Is it because we're so disgusted
It's
by
because
what's
we're so
happening in this
disgusted by
country?
fucking everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm fine with that. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need America. We got the Bruins.
We
We,
should
got the
secede.
fucking Patriots.
Go
we got
Pats.
the Celts.
Go. Pats.
Tom Brady, I want him to just go down there
Number
and throw
12.
a fucking blazing hot turbo laser beam pass right through the wall of that Walmart and let those kids go.
Let them go. Why they keep it in the Walmart?
Can you imagine if you were those fucking kids and then the wall fell down and just like Tom Brady's perfect fucking body is just
Yeah.
haloed like John fucking Connor in the Terminator, just perfectly silhouetted by the rising sun and just that wafting smell of his cologne just coming in there, and he like gives everybody a Donkey's iced coffee and he's like, hey, come to Massachusetts where you can be free.
And let's go slam dunk a bit.
Don't
and
tell
they're
me
like,
we're not
Let's go
American."
slam dunk. And then they're like, hey, that's not part of your wheelhouse. It's like everything's part
He's
of
like,
my
"I'm
wheelhouse.
fucking
I'm
Tom
fucking
Brady.
Tom Brady.
I'm
You
Tom
smell this
Brady."
cologne?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's iced coffee.
He just
I
I make
sweat
I
iced
make my
coffee.
own cologne out of iced
he
coffee.
jabs it.
Yeah.
It's just old milk.
It's all
It's
it's
old
almond
milk.
milk.
And he's like, none of
I'm
you.
lactose intolerant.
He's like, none of yous have strawberries, right? Because I fucking hate strawberries. They
Yeah.
make me swell up something fierce. I never eat a strawberry.
Unless it's in a wine.
I drink 47,000
Strawberry
gallons of water a day.
Yeah.
It's part of it.
Yeah.
It really is. What a saint that
so
guy
yeah,
is.
basically Massachusetts doesn't need to be patriotic
Yeah.
because we got Brady.
Yeah, duh.
We got Brady.
Yeah.
We're done. That's it.
He has a Brazilian wife. They're not trying to separate them from their children
Yeah.
No, yeah.
because he won't let them.
No.
Yep.
We should send Brady to infiltrate ICE.
I mean, Bill
He's the
Belichick
perfect
is like
one.
the Darth Sidious of football,
He could-
so he probably could tear that whole thing down.
He definitely couldn't. I will say this one thing against it. I'm going to be serious here. I don't
Uh-huh.
think that Brady could infiltrate ICE because I think he'd be spotted immediately because he's too fucking handsome.
He is like
Yeah.
gorgeous.
He's too fucking
Classic.
handsome.
Like even if he had one of those
Good-looking.
SWAT helmets on, they'd be like, "There's something handsome about that guy's just."
There's a
shape.
handsome glow
He
underneath
has a
that helmet.
He has a handsome shape.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're talking about the
That
comedian.
guy can really wear a helmet, huh?
Yeah.
Like really good.
If anything, maybe he's more recognizable. You never know.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. See,
Either way, there's a lot of
Wow.
flaws in our plan.
Wow.
I mean, he would be.
Wow.
I think he's legally obligated to get the Uggs logo and also the giant number 12 painted on anything he wears.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a dead giveaway.
But I mean, that's good money. He donates a lot of that to charity because he's a great man.
He donates a lot of those Uggs to charity.
Yeah. I heard
so
everybody
bored.
at the ICE detention center has Ugg boots courtesy of
Yeah.
Tom Brady. It's the least he could do.
Every
Yeah.
baby that's in prison
It's
has Ugg
Tinfoil
boots.
blankets and Ugg boots for babies.
He wrote a note saying, "This is literally the least I can do. Here's a bunch of Ugg boots for you kids."
I love you, TB12.
Yeah. TB12.
Sounds like a new strand of tuberculosis.
I know, yeah.
Have you got? Yeah. If Tom Brady was a new strain of tuberculosis, we'd all be fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd be dead.
Everybody, every dude, touchdowns
What
all
does it-
over the place.
what does it do?
By touchdowns, I mean infant mortality.
What does it do? It deflates your bones. That's right. Take that 4 years ago, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I think. Is that for? I don't even know.
Free-
No.
Free
I
Tom
remember-
Brady.
I remember when that was happening and myself being like, I don't care.
yeah.
I don't care at all.
Give a shit.
Like, I don't care one bit.
No.
Like,
I'm gonna have to ask you to get the fuck out of New England.
fair enough.
Why don't you cross the border to our favorite
Why
state,
don't you go to
Connecticut?
Connecticut, which
Yeah.
don't count as New
Yeah.
England?
Yeah, enjoy worshiping the New York Giants. When's the last time you won a Super Bowl? Probably, I don't know, actually.
Actually,
I think you did beat the
was it
Patriots to win
recently?
it.
Was it recently?
It wasn't the last few years. My hazy facts. If we were talking about the World Cup, too bad Tom Brady doesn't play soccer, huh?
Too bad.
Like that Ronaldo.
Too bad. I've
What a
seen,
handsome Portuguese that guy is.
You know what they? You know, like is, anybody who
I'm
has,
from Milford. It's okay if I say Portuguese.
you know that anybody who has a fantastic arm has fantastic legs.
The way he moves in the pocket.
It's all part of like.
Well, whatever.
basically, Yeah. It's
You
like-
gotta move.
Oh
I
man,
mean,
can you imagine
he's
playing
standing
pool?
on him. They must be fine.
Can you imagine playing pool with Tom
Woo.
Brady?
Woo.
Couldn't.
Welcome back to the Brady podcast. The very Brady podcast.
Yeah, we're the Crying Gang, and we're back. We had a double rambling intro. You're fucking welcome.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we recorded. We got a lot of sad
We gotta-
stuff to talk about.
I got a lot of stuff.
We
got
gotta
to
get these
shake our
yucks
sillies out. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Hey,
Jen's here.
Hi.
Eric's here.
it's true.
I'm here. Bella's here. Abdul left,
With
but
Newt.
Newt's here. Newt's producing.
Yeah.
Newt, stop.
Shit, Newt's-
Stop licking that computer.
Well, Newt's not
That's
producing
how she gets
anymore.
She just
Superpowers.
fucked up the levels.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Actually, I heard it's a Lady Hawk situation. During the day, Newt is a dog and Tom Brady is a man. But at night, Newt is a beautiful woman and Tom Brady is a hawk.
It's also
He's
Tom
still
Brady.
Tom Brady, but
He's
with
also
a
Tom.
different haircut.
He's just Tom Brady still. It's really only Newt that
Yeah.
changes, but
He just
I guess
has like
there's no correlation after all.
no, you don't understand.
Someone's changing.
It's got to be connected
Gronk?
somehow.
I'm still puzzling out this.
I just eat more during a full moon. I just know that.
I do the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get really hungry.
So yeah,
So hungry. Do we want to get this started? We want to start the bits?
yeah, we should probably
Talk about what made us cry this week.
yeah. What's this month?
This.
This-
Yeah,
yeah.
we should just catch up. There's no time limits. Let's just
Yeah.
have a catch up
Let's have a
Guys.
catch up. Yeah,
because a lot has happened, I think, for all of us.
yeah,
So,
it's true.
who wants to start first with their tales of tragedy?
I'll start with a lighthearted one
Okay.
first because this was like before when we weren't able to meet up a couple weeks ago. I had a very good made me cry this week. It was for me it was very good. I had never watched or if I had it's like sporadic Britain's Got Talent or
Yeah.
whatever those shows like that. I obviously had watched one episode of it or one clip. But I had heard of this like 13-year-old girl that gets this thing. It's called like the Golden Buzzer, and the Golden Buzzer on the show is that like you immediately go to the finals,
Woo!
like of this big competition.
That's a
they
no
have.
for me, dog.
Yeah. 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 That's what I feel about the concept of the show in general.
Yeah.
Like the concept of the show in general is like I don't want to watch people get embarrassed and like get like
and like who
their dream
gives a fuck
crushed
about
and
Simon
everything
Cowell
like that.
being
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
to people?
Yeah.
But so I heard about this girl who like she's like 13 years old and she does a Janis Joplin song and knocks it out of the park and everything like that. And I was
I
like,
do
all
love
right,
Janis
like
Joplin.
I'll check it out. And so I like find the thing or whatever. And it's already like 13 million plus views or whatever. Like click on it and she's like so shy and just like everything. She's like, hey, like how are you? Come inside you, just sing a song. And then like starts the song and it's just like it's incredible. And her dad's like weeping in the background and he's got a perfect dad face and just like
picturing it.
yeah, perfect dad
Most
face.
dad face.
Red cheeks.
Yeah, and he's like starting to cry, and then she gets golden buzzer and then freaks out and is having a genuine freak out and her dad comes out and they like hug and
Aw.
everything and then I started losing it and then I watched the Susan Boyle one again when I dreamed a dream. And then I just went down like a rabbit hole of watching like those moments of where it's just like golden buzzer you're going and like everything and all of them are just like it's like almost ridiculous like so there's one the one that got like that was crazy was there was a magician. I was like I cried to a magician story because the ones that get the golden buzzers are usually like it's like and it's great for him but like, there's always a crazy story behind it. It's not just the song or the
It's the
performance.
context.
Yeah, and so his context was like at the end of it is that his wife found out she had cancer while she was pregnant with their baby. They went through chemotherapy,
And he pulled the
and
cancer
the
out of his
baby was
sleeve.
with magic. Like, and he was always an illusion, my wife. You are fine, and our baby is 8.
Yeah. But then he accidentally
Our
cut
baby's
her. And,
8.
Yeah, and her baby is 8 years old.
and he accidentally cut them both in half, and they really
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
Tragic.
A foul trip.
It was almost enough for me to quit magicianing forever.
But then I saw this flyer for the show, so I got a new wife and kid. But so he goes, and the baby's fine and everything, and then it's just like, and he's like, "That's not the stuff I'm doing isn't magic. This is magic," and the like baby's incorporated into that. And no, but like first
Wait,
of all,
does he
it's
spin the baby
incredible.
around on one of those?
No, it's like a video of the baby, like and everything like that. But it's like it didn't matter because like it's like
Gotcha.
it starts off stupid, and you're like, "What the fuck is this?" And then at the end of it, still once again, I'm like
Yeah.
bawling and everything. Because they show his wife, and they show like, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh," and like she's crying.
Oh.
And then they have, but this was like where it's like, oh come on, but I still like lost my shit to it, but because like it's set up to lost. Whereas like there was this lady who became deaf when she was 18 years old, and she wrote her own original song called "Try." And like, oh, it's like that was where it's like, come on though, like what, like. And the song was beautiful, and it was great, and I was bawling. And then my friend Molly had come to pick me up because we were going out, and then like I was like got the text like I'm here, and I was like I just have to brush my teeth.
To get
Like
these
I'll be
tears,
right
get
out.
these
Yeah,
tear
like
stains.
I got toothpaste in my eye. Like,
I think I don't know how to brush my teeth properly.
yeah, I know something
Just
happened.
2 toothbrushes in each eye.
It's magical.
Wow, that's a good cry.
Yeah, it was great. I highly suggest it. Yeah, just watch. They just have the best ofs of it. Like, unless you like watching people fail, then like right on. They got that too.
Nah, if I'm watching that kind of, if I'm just trying to watch Wipeout, if that's
Yeah, the video can't be longer than a minute and a half for that style of video for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Like I can watch an Apollo if they don't make it like. If they make it like 30 seconds into what they're doing, I can handle like any sort of like boom, shut it down. Like that's fine and funny. But like, yeah, if it's like you're gonna do the whole song and
then
stuff
be
like
like,
that,
sorry,
like
no.
yeah, I can't handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I like much for the shutdown is the best part. I don't want to hear why.
Yeah.
Like just like But that was a lighthearted, expressive cry that I enjoyed
Yeah.
a month ago.
I like the ones like that.
Yeah.
Like the happy cry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was a month ago. There's more.
1
stuff
month
to
ago
catch up.
today.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Wait, what month? It's July.
I think so.
It's
It's July 8th.
July 8th.
Oh, I shouldn't say it because this won't come out until.
It's
It could be July 8th of next year
It could
when
be
it comes
July
out.
8th.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
It still could be July
time
8th.
travel.
Could
Yeah.
be some setbacks.
Yeah.
And also, in typical fashion, I
Jen's
have
gotta
to
pee.
pee.
Yeah.
I guess I'll talk about what I cried about. What I cried about. Should I drag it out until Jen gets back?
What?
I had a
Wait,
cry.
before you get started in that, Maddie,
Eric.
let me ask you a question.
Go on.
What
Hmm?
was it that happened to make you cry within this last month? Jen, do you feel comfortable with that question?
What is that question?
Oh,
Only heard part of it. You gotta do the whole thing again. Sorry.
Maddie, what
All
made
right,
you cry?
what made
this
me
month?
cry this month?
Were you-
So
I'm so sorry.
I'll
No,
t-
that's perfect.
I can't wait to
That
listen
was-
to the recording later
that
and
was
figure
perfect.
out what the fuck
I
it
had
is.
a sad one.
No.
It's part of the schmoz that this month has been, I think, for a lot of us.
Yeah.
But I should talk about this in the bigger issue, but it's legitimately I had real tears come down my face a little bit.
Whoa.
My dad had a stroke. So it was a little stroke. He's fine. We're already joking about it and shit. But yeah, he had it's called it's like a TUA, I think. But basically it's a warning stroke. So he had a stroke and there's no permanent damage.
I apologize so much that I did a little
No, dude, it's okay.
because it reminding me so much of I thought you were gonna say TB12.
It's called a TB12. Nah, there's no warning.
There's no warning, man. It's just
that's a full stroke.
lays a position.
If you have the TB12 stroke, that's
Yeah.
the big one.
Oh man, thank goodness it's only a TU.
But yeah, so he had a little strokey stroke. He had, so he's fine.
Yeah.
I told him it was like a few days before Father's Day and like around my birthday, which happened last month.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so he had a stroke, and I found out, and it like got me my tears rolling a little bit. So I had to
Oh yeah, man.
find out, but we're already like joking about it.
What was the so did you find out when he was like in the hospital or what was the
No, it was he went to the hospital the night of my birthday.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess. And then they texted me. My stepmom sent out an email to the whole family, but then texted me, be like, "Hey, read the email, and then hit me back if you have any questions." So, yeah. So like he's fine. He has to take blood pressure medication or cholesterol medication now, and
Yeah.
baby aspirin. But it's just like I say all the time, like, and it's not a joke. Life expectancy of men in my family is like 60s are not a thing that
Yeah.
happened to us. And my father's in his mid-50s now, which is when my grandfather died. He had a massive heart attack in his sleep. So it's really scary, and it's like kind of making me think about the way I live my life, because my dad was supposed to be my great benchmark, because like me, he doesn't really smoke cigarettes, he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't drink. He's just a stressed out dude who eats like shit.
Yeah.
So it was like maybe that'll be the difference, and nope.
Yeah.
So I have to legitimately start about railing back on my shitty eating, and I think I exercise a good amount, so that's good, but yeah, so it was scary, so I cried a little bit there.
Yeah.
And because my dad, I fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's scary if your parents get
yeah,
sick.
man. Especially he's 54.
That's fucking
Yeah,
young.
that's
Gonna be
young.
54. So yeah, so it was wild, and I'm glad he's okay. I saw him on Father's Day a couple days later, and I was like, I was gonna get you a bib because I didn't know how paralyzed your face would be. So that's how we do things in my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what made me cry. Sorry, everybody. That's a serious one.
Oh,
He's
no.
fine.
No, you were allowed to have a
Also, my
serious
dad
one.
looks like White Shrek. If you follow me on
Oh, yeah.
Instagram, you already saw it. But
Oh, and yeah, and
Shrek can't die from a stroke.
Oh yeah.
No, we
No,
can't.
he just needs to do a couple more laps around the bog. Everything like that. It'll be fine.
Donkey.
Yeah, donkey.
My son.
It's not even. Just do it that way.
Donkey.
Yeah. You remember Shrek when he was like, "Hey, donkey."
No, I think it was more like, "Oh, Mr. Donkey-san."
Yeah.
Hey, oh, it turns out the princess was a troll the whole time.
Oh, hello, Mr. Shrekker. Honorable Shrekker. I am going to fuck around this dragon now. Donkey has sex with a dragon.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have, they have
They
a little
have-
baby.
Oh, I
They
didn't know that was.
I went donkey.
I didn't know you were doing donkey.
No,
I was
yeah.
like,
I thought we were doing the bit where you're Italian, you're New York Shrek, and I'm Japanese donkey.
it's all New York, really.
It's a melting pot,
It's
man.
a melting pot.
Ain't that America?
and
the free.
Little pink houses, everybody. Little pink
I've
houses for you and me.
Jen.
oh.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Maddie, don't worry about getting down.
Yeah, it's gonna get.
Don't worry
There's
about
gonna be a bummer
breakdancing
one.
in the like, don't worry about breakdancing.
Well, this
during my
linoleum's
bit.
just so inviting.
Why'd you put the cardboard down?
Yeah. Jen can't keep bringing out this oversized boombox and piece
Yeah.
of cardboard and not
I
expect us
just bought
to
a
do break
fridge.
into electric
and
boogaloo.
I bought a fridge, all right?
I'm trying to send this fridge back in the old box. You guys keep breakdancing on it and spray painting
I
it.
need this box. All right.
Yeah,
The appliances.
This
can't
Kangol hat scuff marks all over this box now. I can't use it.
yeah.
I looked at it scuffing.
Yeah.
Like, is it pleather?
Yeah.
Hey, you wear your Kangol hat however you want, lady, all right?
How long are you gonna be breakdancing on that thing?
I only have 30 days to return it.
I got a fort to build.
Newt would love to be inside that fort.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's so small.
Yeah.
So what made you cry, Jen?
Besides when Newt came in.
Oh, no. No. I'm tearing up thinking about her, even though she's just in the kitchen somewhere.
We're talking
I
about
have
the
this
small
picture
girl
on my
from
phone.
Aliens.
Maybe I'll post it today, but I'll post it on the Crying Kings.
Please.
But it looks like the Sistine Chapel of garbage. It's a really good picture of my hand holding an apple core and Newt trying to eat it out of my hand. And it's like, just really sums up what a piece of garbage she is. Her running down the stairs is not a good sign. Newt, what are you doing? Are you guys playing?
Yeah.
There's going to be sounds of dogs wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog wrestle.
I hope it lightens your day. What
Yeah.
made you cry, Jen?
Ooh, I feel like I really haven't cried in a while. Oh, is there some tap dancing going on
Yeah.
between the dogs?
Hello.
Newt, get her.
Hello, Bella.
Bella, get her.
Thank you.
Fuck her up. Fuck her up. Bella, who's that?
Oh, go back, Newt. Yeah.
Don't talk to me, talk to Newt.
Yeah. No, when you're a guest, you can come on.
Yeah.
But we have a system.
Well,
This
outside?
is one that we have for.
Do you need to go out? I know that you haven't used the dog door, but come on, Bella. Did you go out too?
Yeah.
Cool. Go outside. Dogs outside.
Bye, dogs.
Bye, dogs. Newt.
You live on Shrewsbury Street now?
Yeah.
She'll find me. She knows.
Yeah.
There's nothing in this world that's more obsessed with me than that tiny dog.
She's
It's
really
scary.
cute.
Yeah.
If she could hold a knife, it would be. I would wake up terrified a lot of mornings.
I really haven't cried.
Lexapro's really working, huh, man?
Yeah, but also, like, it has definitely, but I've been anxious, like, a bunch of
Yeah.
times this month. So it's more been, I guess I didn't really have a cry, but I've had a couple of times. I guess I don't want to get, like, too heavy, but I did cry a little bit because someone that I knew a few years ago had been sick with cancer for a while, and I, like, had meant to reach out to her so many times, but I just felt really inappropriate because
Yeah.
I hadn't seen her in such a long time.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
no, I know. I'm sorry. I hope
Oh
I'm
no!
not,
Oh no!
I hope I'm
No!
not
You don't
stealing
want,
your
like.
thunder.
You're really
No.
stepping on her toes
Oh
right
my
now,
goodness!
Jen.
No,
No,
this
but-
is that's absolutely
No, it's
not
perfect.
the case. No, this is very
it's-
what is it?
Hot topic.
Commiserated.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm not too disconcerted about it.
Okay. Disconcerted.
Yeah.
Disconcert.
But yeah, so basically it was this really nice woman who I met when I lived at one of the collective houses who used to come over with her kid all the time, and her kid's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just like really sweet, really cool. And then it was just basically she just, I think, had like a long, shitty battle with cancer, and she ended up moving back to her home state. And then I had kind of been like checking in here and there and kind of trying to like reach out. I was like, how the fuck am I gonna reach out. Like, I don't want to be inappropriate, but honestly, it's like the last fucking thing you should think of when someone's dying.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's so fucking trivial to even think about that. But she died last week, and I'm just like really bummed out about it. She was great. She was like an activist. She was a professor, and she was really smart and cool, and it's just a fucking bummer.
Yeah.
You know, and it just like kind of took the wind out of my sails, which sounds like a selfish thing to say because it's like nothing. I mean, it really took the wind out of her sails. But she was just a really nice person, and I wish I knew what to say, but
I guess there's like, I mean, one way to think about that where it's like, that's unfair to you to say that just like, cause it's true. Like, yeah, it's like it really took the wind out of her sails dying. But she doesn't have to deal with that anymore.
Right.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, her
totally.
pain's over.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, that's the, I mean, I might as well just
No,
say,
that's
like,
that's
there's no point in holding it. I was like, oh, I got a big surprise coming up. A
No.
friend of mine also passed away with cancer.
And I've been thinking about that,
yeah.
and it just, that I had been thinking about as well, and I was just like, fuck. Like, this fucking sucks. And then I was just feeling like some of our friends are moving away from Worcester, and I was just kind of
For fear of getting cancer?
For
Is
fear of
that
getting
the
cancer. I
line?
think it's
Okay,
pretty prevalent here,
Yeah.
yeah. But but a bunch of people that we know have been like moving in the past couple of years, and it's not people that I like hang out with all the time or anything, but it's people who are friends of mine. And then, you know, I recently had my 3-year anniversary of owning this house, which has been great, but
That's
I'm just
great.
like, I don't know, it kind of everything put me in a funk of just like, and what the fuck am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? I don't know. You know, thinking about if, you know, I'm very much like a loner, and I like to be alone, and I like to do things alone, but I still can't tell if that's not normal. I don't know if it's my normal. I don't know if there's like, I feel like I've always been this way, and I like who I am, but I feel like everyone else sort of in my life is just kind of like, that's not normal to them.
Yeah.
And so I question it all the time.
Oh,
I question if I'm like too reserved, too closed off, too private, too much of a loner,
yeah.
where like, I don't know if I'm making the most out of my life. And then it spiraled into this whole thing of like mortality, and basically where all my anxiety stems from is when I was a kid, you know, I was raised Catholic, not like hardcore Catholic, but you know, like my parents are, it's just New England. And, you know, I used to go to church and stuff like that on Sundays. And when I was a kid, I used to cry myself to sleep being like, oh my God, someday my parents are going to die. My brother's going to die. I'm going to be all alone. And that's terrifying.
Yeah.
But when I believed in God, it was like, cool, I'll get to see them in
Heaven.
heaven.
Yeah.
And I guess I can kind of like think about what that would be like. Will I be an old person in heaven? Will I get to pick whatever age I want to be in heaven? And then
I would hope so.
I would hope so. Everyone would just be elderly.
I would
or,
hope so.
Or like, you know.
It seems a little unfair, like especially if you like died like when you're like 96 and you're like,
You're like,
and
oh,
then
cool,
just
I
like,
get to
all
have.
of eternity with this infirmed body.
huzzah!
Like I get to, cool, I
No-
get to have
no pain.
arthritis here too.
Yeah, you know, yeah. It doesn't hurt
Sick.
though,
It doesn't hurt.
but you know you have it.
Yeah.
My joints are still inflamed. But yeah, and so then when I got older and I stopped believing in God, I was just like, oh, holy shit, it's just like turning off a TV. And that bums me out a lot.
Yeah.
And I wish so badly that sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to be a religious nut, but I'm like, maybe it's like too bad that I can't like trick myself into it now. I really like missed an opportunity to like become like a churchy freak and have that.
Oh, here's something that you don't have to worry about, because I believe that can happen at any age.
Oh,
Could happen to you tomorrow.
Yeah, no, you could be tomorrow.
that's true. Maybe I just need to find my perfect religion.
Yeah. Yeah, just find the perfect
I'll make
We
my
should
own.
start trying
It'll
them
be a
out.
cult.
Yeah.
But sorry,
I've been trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
start a cult for a while.
Oh,
so-
I can't believe this is the first time we're talking
Whoa,
about this, because I have
whoa,
two.
whoa, whoa,
I have
whoa,
charisma
whoa,
out the
whoa,
ass.
Whoa,
Same.
whoa. That's what I thought we were doing here.
Yeah, that's.
Should we? Yeah.
Oh, we'll
talk about it after.
Yeah.
Hey,
We're not starting a cult. So one
hey,
time,
Eric, edit this out.
one of the many times that I've talked about starting a cult, I was talking about starting a cult with my friend Kara, who listens to the podcast. Kara, what's up? And we were telling my friend Jesselyn that she would be in the cult for sure, and she was like, "No, I'm not going to be in the cult." Blah 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 blah. And then, while this was happening, I convinced Kara that she was going to be my second in command, and she'd be in on it. Wink, wink. But like literally within 10 minutes, she was fully onboarded in my cult.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kara.
No, totally. I mean, we could join.
Yeah.
We could join recruits. I mean, me and my friend, I don't even say my friend Alana. Me and Alana, we basically have like a 50-50 cult all set up.
Nice.
It's based around
Well,
two
we can
different
have
sets
separate
of linen
but
clothes.
equal cults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
separate but equal.
I don't
we
think
could,
there's any.
We could get together.
Yeah.
There's no rule
mega
that
cult.
says that two cults can't get along.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
I don't know of any rule that says that.
Yeah.
My plan was to create because seltzer's really hip and being healthy is really hip, and like a lot of cults in the 70s got their start by being vegan or health food or yoga or whatever.
Or
all
civil
that shit.
rights, like
Yeah.
civil rights. That's
Yeah,
how.
like
that's
Jonestown.
how Jonestown.
So we were
if
gonna
it wasn't for civil rights, like
Yeah.
there's no way
I mean,
that would have
honestly-
been as big.
So I was gonna
We
create
had-
a vitamin-enriched seltzer,
Ooh.
health seltzer,
Yeah.
and that's how we would get people into the cult.
Oh, you know what you could do? I don't know if you've thought of this, but if you have people do just a seltzer fast, if they don't get any protein, then they're easier to
Oh, yeah.
manipulate.
Weak and everything.
Yeah, the seltzer's not going to actually be healthy. For
Yeah, we
you.
probably shouldn't be talking about this on the air. This
Edit
could
this
be
out,
used
Eric.
Well,
Eric,
edit
edit
this
could
out.
be
I just know that.
could be used
yeah.
in court.
Yeah, listen to him, Eric. Don't bone me. I was gonna say that I just don't think a cult would work on me in
Yeah.
that in the only sense, not that I'm not malleable and like can't be convinced to do things. I absolutely can. But the thing that people cannot convince me to do would be like, hey, we're having a meeting. No.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys came over to my house, well, I probably wouldn't invite you to my house because I don't like people coming to my house.
That-
And here is where
Yeah.
the introvert wins.
This is where I was like
Exactly.
going
That's
back. I
what's up.
think at least, and I was like, I can only attest to we're all in our own heads and everything, but I think I can fairly assess that you are living. I don't think you're, and I don't want to like enable you. But I think you're doing a good job.
I think you're going
Because
outside
you
too much.
you go out because I hear stories about like people coming over, people like
true.
doing stuff
have a
like
lot of
that and everything like
visitors.
that.
Like if
Yeah.
I was in a hospital.
Like if you want to talk about
Now we're a Johnny.
if you want to talk about wasting
bed eating
days,
crackers.
like
No, but
point. The and it's not a competition, but
Stop
I mean
pointing at Newt.
I'm winning. Like I have so many recollections of my childhood that are just like alone in a room, just like looking at toys, like not playing them, just like.
What do I do with this Cyclops?
well,
Guess this is it. I guess this
this
is.
sure is a Cyclops.
Yep.
I spent a whole summer once not seeing anyone.
Yeah.
Playing solitaire in the dark in the basement.
Oh yeah. No, what I
My-
used. To,
We know what my best time is?
What?
48 seconds.
No. Oh man, that's really good.
I know.
What I used to do is I used to play.
Wow.
This is like this is. I think this is very sad. I used to play War, by myself.
No!
The card game
Yeah.
War. Used to play it by myself. Here's the worst part: is I would cheat.
Against yourself?
Yep. But I'd like also cheat to make it like so like the other person had a chance.
Yeah.
Like I
Felt bad for your Phantom
Oh,
opponent.
but like I didn't because it was really like I know what the end game is. Like I'm gonna crush you. So I'm just like, no, it's okay. Oh look, you got a good one.
Yeah, like I'm giving you a taste.
I know, yeah.
Just wait for the end.
Taste this victory. What I'm guessing is handsome Eric in my imagination. Fuck you, dude. There's a lot. I mean, yeah, you don't suck
no,
nickels in your house without being a lonely kid, I think.
I know it's weird being a lonely kid because it doesn't feel lonely. I mean, sometimes
It
it
just-
does.
Well, yeah, I mean, like there's a desire. It's just like, oh man, it would be cool. Like it's cool to imagine what it would be like, but the idea
Yeah.
it's different when you're actually hanging out with. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about, Bella.
Bella.
Like,
Yeah,
It's like you're not
microphone
alone
soon.
anymore. I live here.
know Bella's here.
Bella, I can smell your breath from here, and it's not good.
I would have been terrified of Bella when I was a kid. I had
She's
a
a
like,
scary
huge
dog. Like, she's
fear of
sweet.
dogs.
Oh yeah.
But
huge
she's
fear.
big and she looks like a ghost.
Yeah,
She does-
her
she's-
eyes would have I would have been like, it's incredibly. It wouldn't even been beautiful to me. It would have been like, that's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my
What
entire
is this
life.
monster?
Like, yeah.
Oh, are you guys
so
fighting
sad.
over Rawhide?
Oh, we should actually remove that situation. Newt gets Mondo aggro over toys, especially with new dogs. Also, she'll eat the whole ride until it's gone and her little belly explodes. She's a real monster.
Yeah.
Jen left the table again.
Dang. I'm assuming.
This is that picture I was talking about. Hold on.
Oh yeah. By the way. Oh yeah. Show the. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. At first, when you had.
Sorry. I hid the. Oh my God! What a little trash queen.
At
So
first, I
cute.
thought you were
Definitely
talking.
post
I didn't
that.
hear you say Newt, and I thought you were talking about Jen. You're
Oh.
like, the time I fed Jen like a tiny apple core.
Yeah, and I loved it, and I reached out with my
With
snout,
a little mouth.
with my little mouth.
Little snooter.
Yeah,
Little
and I went,
snoots.
give me that.
Give me that car. Say
But,
it right.
But yeah, sorry with the. I just was hiding the rawhide.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Newt will fuck up a motherfucker over a toy.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
She's
say.
a monster.
I was
She
like,
doesn't even
what?
like playing with toys.
Yeah.
She likes chewing on stuff, but she likes to take other dogs' toys away so they can't have them, and
Totally.
then jock them wicked hard when they come to get them.
Yeah.
I get that.
She
Yeah.
wants all the toys. What's wrong?
And-
Yeah.
And
So-
Bella's just like, but
The power struggle between Byron and Newt went away for a while. Like, Newt was just firmly
Yeah.
dominant, but Byron's figured out a way to get a little bit of his dignity back. So when I put down Newt's water, if I leave the door open, Byron just comes in and drinks all of the whole bowl of water.
Yeah.
And he did it so much the other day that I came home from work. I would work the morning shift. I came home. He drank all of her water. I slept for 3 hours. And because he had drank so much water, he couldn't hold his pee and my door was closed, so he couldn't come and beg me to go out. And he just pissed a lake of water piss on the floor of the living room. And I was like, you fucking idiot. Why? Why are you both like this?
Well, that's for two reasons. One, dominance on the water. Two, the living room is now Byron's.
his.
It's also Byron's.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's
It's not
100%.
his, and
Yeah.
he knows it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I knew it.
Newt's
so
tough
cute.
as nails. So do we want to start talking about our bummer months? Do we want to just get into it? Dig
You-
into it?
You want to take a sec?
Do you want a break? Yeah.
Take
Yeah,
a little break.
take a
and then
break.
We'll get
Smoky
into,
break.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get
All right,
into,
we're going to take a smoke
Bless
break.
you, Newt.
I'm going to sing.
Bless you.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
I'm
Hello, my
starving.
ragtime gal. I'll come for
I
a
sing that
while.
all the time.
Baby,
I
my
do
heart's
arms.
on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Also, yesterday I was looking for
If you
adult tap
miss
shoes on
me,
Amazon.
you'll miss me, and you'll be left alone.
Also, if you can stand to picture it, chubby little Jen as a tap dancer. Also,
When you were a kid?
What do
yeah.
you mean can
I
stand
mean,
to picture
that's all
it?
I want to picture
Yeah, yeah.
now.
not only a tap dancer, Irish step dancer.
Just you in your confirmation. You in your confirmation
But
dress.
but in
Irish step dancing.
but in a crushed like
Green
emerald
velvet.
green,
So Little Miss
Velvet. Most
Sunshine
adorable
is
thing I've
basically
ever-
like
just
Yeah.
dancing. My mom just Irish step dancing
Yeah.
and tap dancing,
I
trying to
love
fit
it.
my sausage body into
If
like
there was a
lycra.
video of it, I would watch it every time I was sad.
I have a video. I have a VHS tape of at least little 2-year-old Jen doing dance in
That's
the living
unreal.
room.
Well, at least post a video. Post a picture
Oh,
of the video.
I definitely can.
No, I mean just of the tape.
This is gold in here.
I have all of my
Toot toot. She was just kind of going back and forth.
family. Yeah, and I was like, "That's your fucking niece." And
Yeah.
they realized yesterday that Yasmin inherited a recessive Sherzai trait of doing a dance without moving your head.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
do it. It's fine.
Wow.
I'm your.
See how it
I'm,
is.
I'm
Not.
Your, I'm your niece. Get it right.
I'm not a monkey,
gonna
I'm
say,
your niece.
We have this.
We did Monkey Boy last month.
We
Yeah.
have this electric fly swatter within reach.
Yeah.
Do what I say. I've killed so many bugs with
This is
this.
the most
Yeah.
boring bondage movie I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Do the dance your niece does.
No.
Zap.
That's
Zap.
That's the.
Burn all the
No.
burn all the hair off his belly.
Now call me. Say you're my. Say
you're
you're my little
my-
bit piggy boy. No.
Zap zap.
Zap zap.
He's got
Ow.
no hair left. Okay, well, we'll go back into it.
Yeah.
Don't edit that out, Eric.
Yeah. Keep it, dummy.
I'll tell my mom not to listen
That's
to this episode.
gold.
All right, I think we're going to talk about our months now. Eric said I should start, so I'll start.
Yeah, I'm making.
Hey, he made me.
Yeah.
Eric made me
Really
talk about
really
this.
strong-armed.
So it's been weird since the last time we recorded. before my dad had a stroke, like 2 weeks before my aunt died. I wasn't super close to her. She was my like step aunt, but it's a person who's been in my family for like, my parents have been married for like 20 years or something at this point. And it was really sudden. She was like in her 40s.
Man.
She had a big heart attack a few years ago, and she was a very stressed out lady, and I think she partied too hard in her youth, and so she passed away. So it was sad. I was mostly bummed for my family. Yeah. It's funny how my family like handles these things, because like even my step family, we just handle all tragedy with comedy. So like everybody was sad, and we went out to dinner with my grandmother and my uncle and my dad and stepmom and my cousin to like start making plans for what we were gonna do. And within like it had been like less than 24 hours since my aunt had been found dead, and my uncle's already like making jokes about how her cats killed her. And me and my cousin said something, and we high-fived each other really loud, because my cousin's like my brother, and we high-fived really loud. My grandmother like was startled, because she's an old woman who's a little senile, and
She's never seen a high five.
well, it was
What
like,
was that?
I mean, it was two dudes who have been high-fiving each other for like over 20 years, so it was like, some solid
Powerful.
contact. It was loud. And she got startled, and the first thing I did was put my arms up and yelled 2 funerals in the middle of Szechuan Garden in my way, and everybody laughed, so it was good. But it was still sad, and I like went to the service, and like everybody was crying. I mostly hid in the basement with my stepsister and talked shit about D&D to her husband, who plays the wrong kind of D&D.
I'm learning that there's a wrong way.
My stepsister, literally, he was trying to defend. So there's all these different versions of D&D, basically, because they're up to 5th edition. And we were raised on like the oldest school one, and then the 4th edition is like drastically different from all that. They really tried to like get in the World of Warcraft crowd and the board game crowd, and like made it like less. It's just different. I never played it. I did not approve of it. So we were like talking about how much it sucked, and her husband tried to defend it, and my stepsister was like, "You gotta understand, we were raised on real D&D," and I was just like, "We were all raised by the same asshole nerd." Like my dad is such a like crappy anti-other nerd. It's so funny.
Oh, it's just like so funny too. It's like the idea, like of what is notoriously known as the nerdiest of things.
Oh, for sure.
And just like it's just like there's like, of course, like, because nerd culture, of course they have there's a hierarchy.
Oh, definitely.
Like it's just like
addiction wars are real.
It's even, I think it's even worse too, because there's like an anger based off towards like jocks or whatever have their hierarchy, but there's like less anger because they're just like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but this is what they have. Like, this is what nerds have. Like.
Yeah, dude, it was so funny, and like it was cool to see my stepsister. She's deaf, and even though she's been my stepsister for like 20 years, I've known her for longer than that.
She's still deaf even after
I can't
knowing
believe
you for
this
like...
bitch is still
Did you
deaf.
get over it already?
I've like learned like embarrassingly small amount of sign language, but I like speak loudly, and she's good at reading lips, and so I speak loudly, and when I'm speaking to her slowly enough that she usually like understands. Also, having like a keyboard and screen in your pocket at all times makes things a lot easier because we can just quickly type it out. But so it was good seeing them, and then my dad had his stroke like 2 weeks later, so that was hard. I found out my mom. I just found out like yesterday. She's supposed to call me today, but I just found out yesterday that my mom had. So I haven't talked to my mother since February, and I was like a little worried that it was related to this podcast or that she was just having a difficult time. Usually when I don't speak for her for long periods of time, she's like doing poorly, and she's trying to like avoid talking to me. But she changed her phone number a few months ago, and apparently I've just been calling her old number and didn't know she had changed her number. She changed it because her ex-husband's bill collectors have been calling her and harassing her trying to get these bills paid. So she changed her number. So I call it last week, and someone finally answers her old number, and it's like a dude, and he's like, "You called me?" And I was like, "Yeah, who is this?" And he's like, "No, you called me. Who is this?" And I was like, "All right, man. I clearly have the wrong number." He's like, "Oh, that's okay." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Why the anger,
I'm not
man?"
trying to come at you.
All
through
right.
The fucking phone.
Yeah.
You want to go outside?
No, you want to go outside?
You want to go outside and see if we can hear each other yell at each other?
What state do you live in?
I'll be there sometime in the next few days.
6 to 8 hours. So like I finally like sent my mom a Facebook message, and she's supposed to call me today. She at least gave me her new phone number,
which is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice
Which
of
is
her
nice.
to give me a way to
Yeah,
contact her. But Yeah, what else? Yeah, so my car is on like it's not on death's door, but like basically I have to buy a new car this month, and my anxiety's just been terrible for the last few weeks. Like really, even all those factors aside, I'm in one of those like peaks where it's just like everything is stressful, and I've been sleeping like shit. I slept like shit for like 3 weeks, was barely sleeping, and then I was so stressed out at the beginning of this week that I was violently ill. Everything I ate felt like someone was stabbing me in the stomach, and I slept Sunday night. Sam came over. We went to bed at midnight. We went to the Boynton 8, came home, immediately went to sleep. I slept for 8 straight hours. She got up and left to go home and do some work. I went back to bed, and I woke up at 5:30 at night, which is like a thing my body does. Like, I literally will sleep so bad and be so stressed out, and then my body just shuts itself down for like a whole day.
Yeah.
But I texted her when I woke up because I was worried because I had slept for so long, and even with my AC on, the sun hits my room so hard that it like, and I'm sleeping near the walls, you know, because nobody puts like their bed in the middle of their room. You're a psychopath.
Bad feng shui.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But so the walls were super hot, even though the air was cold.
I'm just thinking what I would think if I ever walked into someone's house and saw their bed in the middle of the room.
I'd be like,
just like,
who are you? Yeah. All their couches are in the middle of the room.
I know.
too.
Yeah, everything's like
Nothing's
just dead
touching the
center.
walls.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get in my own apartment.
No, the walls are lava. You see.
Yes. Bugs crawl out of them.
I was told they were lava.
If the wall touches if the couch touches the walls, they're no good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta throw them up.
Yeah. So
What are you
like
doing?
I slept. So I woke up and like
These walls are filthy.
I felt so sick because I had eaten Coney Islands the day before.
Good.
When we brought Eric to work and
Yeah.
he didn't need to go to work.
Oh, my purse! I opened my purse.
It
the
was
next day and
probably
it smelled
because
like,
of. It was probably not because of Conan. It was probably because of.
It was definitely.
It was probably because of the. Yeah.
Hot dog
something
Annie's
else.
for life.
I
I'm starting this war.
don't give a shit. I just don't think they give you food poisoning.
I mean, I don't think it gave me food poisoning. I think that when you eat a type of I eat a lot of greasy stuff, and when you eat unfamiliar grease or
Yeah.
grease that you're not accustomed to,
grease.
it makes you really sick.
Yeah.
It's just like if you
Totally.
eat McDonald's for a whole week and then you eat a salad, that salad will make you violently ill because your body is a magical thing that gets adjusted to
What's
all
this
kinds of
soluble
abuse.
fiber?
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
yeah.
So I woke up and I like felt like someone was stabbing me in the stomach with knives. I hadn't eaten all day because I felt sick. I also didn't drink any water all day because I was just
Oh my God.
unconscious.
Oh wait, did you eat the food that was meant for Jen?
Yes, I think I did. She switched trays, and I thought it was weird, but I was like, "Oh, we both got the same hot dog."
She left chipper, and I was surprised.
That was fine.
But I woke up
Totally
and I felt
fine.
so sick and dizzy and weak that I thought I had the flu, and I had slept so
Oh,
much. So I
yeah.
texted Sam. I was like, "Dude, I might be sick," and then like ate some cheese and drank some water and felt like 1,000 times better. I was like,
Yeah.
false alarm, man.
Your body was just shutting
my
down from
body
lack of
literally
like
hadn't
anything.
eaten or drank water in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I felt really sick this week. My anxiety is like really awful. It's been very hard to deal with. It's like affecting her now too, because like, you know, it's hard also when you're the other person's nervous or just anybody you hang out with that much. And when you're feeling shit, like I've been visibly shitty. I've gotten to a comfortable stage with her where I like, which is good. I'm just like not trying to pretend that I'm having like super in it. It's not that I'm having a bad time. Like I like hanging out with her,
But
but
you can just be a little bit more honest
I
with
can
how
just
you're
be
feeling,
bummed.
like,
When we're
in the
not
moment.
doing something, I can just sit there and be bummed while
Yeah.
we're watching TV. But because she's nervous now, it's like a lot of times like, are you okay? Do you want to do something else? Like, and I have to be like, it's not you or this.
Yeah.
And that's like a hard spot to be in because then it makes me feel bad because
You don't.
now I'm
yeah.
bumming this person out with me being bummed out. So
Which makes it
It's-
harder to snap out of. Like.
exactly, and it just like puts you in that weird cycle, and then it makes me not want to hang out, not because I don't want to hang out with her, but just because I don't want to bum out this person
But yeah,
that I like, because I know I'm just gonna keep being bummed out. I'm feeling a little better today. I'm less anxious. I think
Yeah.
the break in the weather is helping. Like
Yeah, that
that
was shitty and hard.
anything
It was
over
hard to
80
get anything
is,
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck it, I don't want to be alive this week.
Well, it's a common thing, I think. I don't know how. Well, it's common that I know what you mean. But like, because I remember, like as growing up, and like anytime someone was hanging out in a group, like, and someone's visibly not having a good time.
Yeah.
And I know I've been that person before, but like the worst part for me is like when I'm out and I realize that's happened, is like I just don't want to be there, and it sucks. But like when realizing earlier, just like if I'm in that mood, I don't even want to go out.
Yeah.
Because the idea is just like I don't want like that. There's a chance I could switch it around. Like, oh,
Right.
this event will be fun, and I'll be like,
It'll make you
it'll
feel
be
better.
great, and I'll
Yeah.
be doing good. But the more than likely scenario, I was go out, also feel terrible, still feel terrible, and then just get more anxious, and then just like now I'm like the not fun guy.
Yeah, you're
hanging
like
out
bumming
there.
out
Yeah.
the people
Yeah,
around
That's-
you.
yeah,
which
we're
I
trying to
never
have a good
wanna
time.
do.
I don't
I-
want to do that. Like,
go
yeah,
through
they should
that.
have a good time.
That's
Just because
literally
I'm
me
feeling
every
shitty doesn't
Exactly.
mean
That's me every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just like, or it's just like, sometimes I'm just like, I don't have the energy to like relate to people.
Yeah.
That I just like, and it sucks. And I've told myself that before, like maybe I'll go and I'll have a good time. And every time I'm just like, okay, statistically speaking, I will not have a good time. So I am
Yeah.
just not gonna do it because
Yeah.
I just can't sit there and stare off into space. Everyone will think I'm dying
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they don't know me as that person. I think that's part of maybe a thing that each of us has, being like that good time person who's
Totally.
like
Yeah.
you know, people want to talk to, and which is really great, and like, you know,
It's
I have
sweet
a lot of
and
nice
nice.
friends, but it's like it sucks to feel like you're disappointing.
Yeah, and then it
people.
puts you in that mode where you just bury that shit, and then you're
Mhm.
song and dance man again.
Well,
I was doing it at work wicked hard the other day. Like I
Yeah.
had the morning shift Friday, and I was just feeling super shitty, and like barely anybody was coming in, and I literally felt like I was like had a top hat and a cane, and was like dancing for all these
oh yeah,
for,
yeah.
like these $3 tips, and it was just like, oh, I should just not care.
Bartending is
No,
soul
totally.
sucking, my friend.
It is, yeah. It's hard because you're just forced to perform. Like you're getting paid to perform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The well, that's another thing too. Is like with going out, is that like especially if I notice I'm in that mood, there is a fix for that, and unfortunately, it is alcohol.
Right.
And because then like because drunk Eric,
The fun juice.
yeah, like I've said it before, like although he's done some shitty things, apparently drunk Eric is very fun.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well,
there's,
I
like,
think
so. Then I
sober Eric is very fun.
well, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Same.
Thank you. But yeah, then like, but if I'm not in a good mood and I'm deciding to use that crutch, then like I'm just basically it's like no, I don't want one crutch.
Yeah.
Like no, give me both crutches. Like
I'll
I'm gonna
take all
go
of
for
those
gold.
crutches.
Give me all the crutches. Like
Also, too, I
Um,
feel like when you do that, I feel this way when I like am feeling shitty and force myself to go to a social situation like a bit, and I like really turn on the fun juice real hard, like, and I'm just like, hey, it's Matty T. I'm having a good time. Look at, I'm yelling and
Buzz,
my
buzz.
shirt's off. You are paying it forward, right? Because you're basically buying yourself time, but you're gonna pay for it double.
oh, you're gonna
next
crash.
Yeah.
Like
day.
yeah,
Like, you're
you're
gonna
like
feel extra shitty the
you
next
were a
day.
fucking doofus last night. is
You
the
feel
basic
stupid
vibe,
about it,
like.
and also
Yeah.
it's exhausting, so you're even more vulnerable to your
Mhm.
downswing. That's kind of how I felt on, even though the party on Wednesday that we all went to was like super mellow. I
Yeah.
felt also there was like a bunch of fights going on between couples that I knew,
Oh, yeah.
which I was having to kind of deal with, and like not deal with, but like I was cognizant of and worried for my friends. So it was like a low key dramatic barbecue, and also
Yeah.
I like was forced to like talk to everybody all day, and like.
Mm.
Yeah, and then we went to Ralph's afterwards for karaoke, and then I woke up Thursday and was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, literally, like the second I left that, I was like, like when I was there, I was like, I'm having a good time. It's so nice to see everyone. And then I got home and I was like, you're a fucking dork, Jen. Like,
Yeah.
why do you say anything? You know,
and it's
that's
like
why-
because it just you get exhausted and then you
Yeah.
start over analyzing everything because
Yeah.
now you're not strong enough. You're not
you've used so much of that energy while you
that
were
you
out
normally
that you
use
don't
to like
have
hold
those.
that dam.
Yeah, which
to
is why like
let
I
the waters of self doubt and overanalyzation just
Yeah,
drown you.
which is why I spiral out sometimes when I get really stoned, because I'm just like I go through all these things in my head and I'm like, no, you've already resolved this when you weren't stoned. But I go through that cycle like over
Yeah.
and over, but it's just like it's exhausting
right.
Yeah.
sometimes. But I did have a really good time. It was nice to see you guys.
It was good to see you guys.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
I was
it
pumped
was
that both of you came.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And I know.
I've been seeing you guys have. I want to say congratulations on. I've been seeing you both out in public more often.
It's
which
true.
I don't know is good for either of you, but I'm
It's
glad
good.
you're making those
Well, it's-
attempts
it-
at least to see if it is good for you.
It's partial good. I just gotta like try and like once again like just like because my natural instinct is to not go out.
right.
So
Same.
the like I was just saying was like to be more comfortable, like especially if I've gone to like the bar
right.
or anything like that, where it's like I mean this is the reason you go to the bar anyway. Like
Right.
there's a like
Well, also it's weird because, I feel like a lot of subcultures like this, but ours especially, it's such a consumption culture too. Like I find that for years, I still go out to eat a lot with my friends, but like everything's based around consuming drugs or alcohol, or for me, food. So like my friend, instead of like just being like, hey, can we just hang out? There needs to be a thing, and most people don't know what to do other than eat, drink, or do drugs. So they'd call me and be like, hey, do you want to go out to eat? And then I would find myself like going out to eat with different people every day of the week, because that's the only way anybody knows how to hang out.
Yeah.
But it's like we could just like hang in, like maybe
Totally.
eat snacks and not go out to eat, and just
Which is literally what all my
we
friends
could
know that
talk
they're
and
in
play
for.
a game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and so, because I don't drink.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I don't. Like, I'll drink like a couple beers, but it really fucks with my stomach.
Right.
Yeah.
I get like really bad acid reflux.
That sucks.
So I just like, it used to be a thing where I was like, cool, I will just get drunk and I'll have a really good time. But now I'm just like, I will be fucked for like the next few days. So that's been a big loss of my, like the social part of my life. I've never been a big drinker.
Yeah.
My friends are always just like, because my friends who've known me for years are like, you never really drink.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, that's
Well
what I
known
hear.
about you.
Well, very well known about Eric is that
Yeah,
like
not a big drinker.
he'll sip a brew.
Yeah.
He'll sip a brew.
That's weird because people know me as a big drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, Maddie, that
Big
drinker.
drinker.
Mountain Dew, frozen hot chocolates.
Yeah.
Man, that guy will just
Slam
drink.
'em,
He'll
man.
just
Slam 'em.
drink.
I mean, that is true.
Yeah.
If I drank alcohol, it would be a real problem.
Oh yeah. You like drinks.
It's weird because of the way I am and how often I am shirtless and yelling at a party, and also because of the people I hang out with. A lot of times in my life, I have had to convince people who vehemently were convinced that I was an alcoholic or drinking.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh no, I don't drink. And they'll be like, no, you drink.
No,
Like,
buddy.
No.
Trust me,
If
I
I'm
know.
drank, this city would burn. You've seen me unleashed as a sober person. It's wild how much I overcompensate for how shitty I feel by being destructive and shirtless and yelling.
Or you would crumble into a ball and sob. That would be like the basic like.
My family does
together.
both of those things. They
Yeah,
either
yeah.
cry or are dangerous.
Yeah.
So it would probably be, it's the swing. They do both.
Well, I
depending
think people who are crying are dangerous.
on- I mean, I definitely am the most dangerous when I am
I
crying.
know. Yeah, we have big criers put their beds in the middle of the room.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it's really true.
And so you feel completely isolated.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
No support.
That's what I meant before when I said is like, how would I feel if I walked in and someone else was doing that?
We should. You got to do it, and then also I don't have a footboard or headboard,
I don't either.
so it'd look even crazier.
I want
And then what if
Oh,
you
yeah.
have
Neither do I.
pillows
Yeah,
and
it's
make
just an
both
island.
sides
It's
of
just
the
an
bed?
island. Yeah.
Yeah, like
All
you're
right.
floating on the sea.
So I'm going to go home today and just do that. I'm going to move the bed into the middle of the room and just take a picture of it and just see how crazy it looks.
Yeah.
Like,
It feels crazy.
I bet it would. I would be. Yeah, I'd feel like I was on the ocean and I would hate it.
yeah,
Dude,
Like, I would hate it.
I need that. Also, I thrash so much that if my bed was in the middle of my room, it's already hard for me to keep blankets and pillows
Yeah.
on my bed. Like
Yeah.
I've said before, I'm not fun to sleep next to.
I always figured.
Which
you
is
had
why
like
it's good that Sam sleeps so deeply, because she just doesn't know that I'm just like thrashing violently next to her all night.
Who put this pee under here? Newt.
Also, if your bed's in the middle of the room, how can you curl up to the wall as close as possible and
I
put
know.
your face into it when you're feeling sad?
Yeah.
Does anybody else do that? Because I sure do.
me and Abdul had to move our bed in the middle of the wall, so
Right.
that we have
Separate end tables. That's
So we have separate
That's
end
different.
tables, but
That's
it still
different.
touches
It's still-
the wall,
it's
but
still-
it has to at least have contact with one
it has
wall.
it has contact, so it's hard, but we can still. It's hard to curl up into the wall, but you know,
Like even in a movie, if you see a movie where like a person is a player and they have like the round bed or heart shaped
Yeah.
bed, it's still pushed against the wall.
yeah,
It's never just in the middle of the fucking room.
Yeah.
Because what if you're trying to get busy? Sometimes you need a like hard place to, you know.
Yeah, like to do your paperwork.
Yeah, I'm trying to
You know,
bang
getting
and do
busy.
my taxes.
What? That's what get busy means?
Yeah, sorry, man.
easy on these.
Is it? Are you disconcerted?
W2s.
Yeah. Man, you're running the gambit on all these phrases here.
I'm disconcerted.
Oh yeah, look how look.
Newt's always disconcerted.
Yeah. And look out for the new Crying Gang t-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Coming
DTF
to
with
you.
GEN.
Yeah.
And
DTF with GEN.
And
Down to feelings with
Down to
Jen.
feelings.
I'm very disconcerted how you keep running the gambit movie.
Newt's gonna be the T-shirt model.
You got
There.
it.
She loves wearing clothes.
We only make Newt size shirts
Sorry,
Yeah, sorry,
you must
everyone.
have a small, medium dog.
or a salamander.
You have to have a small dog with a medium personality.
Yeah. or probably how
Sorry, Bella. Looking at you.
Yeah, you don't get a shirt, Bella. Sorry.
You're just a ghost dog.
We know that you don't actually
The
listen to the
Haunted
podcast.
Bella hates the podcast. She's like, these fucking assholes again.
Why would I listen to it? I'm fucking here.
I live it.
I live it.
I live it.
No
All right,
wonder-
who else wants to talk about their month? I rambled on for long enough.
Oh yeah, no, it was not a ramble at
Next.
all. Not a ramble at all.
Do you want me to go? Do you have? You have some stuff
Yeah.
to
Why
talk
don't
about.
you go and then we'll.
Eric
Sure.
goes last. Saddest week last.
Sad. Yeah.
Saddest week last. Okay, so
Sorry, dudes. Won again.
Man, you're so good at this, Eric.
Yeah, man. I'm kicking ass on this.
Let's look at the leaderboard. Eric just squeaks out ahead with this week's
Yeah.
saddest week.
So I did.
Squeaks. Just squeaks out ahead.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Jen also had a friend die of cancer.
No, I know.
No, but it was.
I know.
We hadn't seen each other in a long
No,
time.
we're
but-
we're gonna
I know,
be.
I'm minimizing it.
Yeah.
Because
I'm trying to minimize Eric's suffering.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
gonna
sorry.
commiserate.
I'm still
Yeah.
mad because this asshole just talked about his dead friend last week while I was trying to talk about my sad cheeseburger.
Yeah.
No, God. Eric.
Oh, enough
Oh,
already.
no.
This cheeseburger was terrible, and I can't even talk about it.
What is that? No, I don't want to go back. No, you know what? Like, we're gonna skip my turn, and we're gonna go back to this cheeseburger.
Yeah,
because
I need another
Yeah,
turn.
you get
I
one more
forgot
turn.
about my bad Wendy's cheeseburger.
We've
Eric
already know.
forfeits.
We already
You
know.
both forfeit.
We already know
Fine.
I've won.
I'm
I
plugging
don't have
your
anything
mics.
to talk about anyway.
All right, Jack, go ahead.
When you lose horseshoes, do you pull up the pole too? No one ever again.
Bocce too. I pocket the Pauline and I
Pocket.
go home.
The bullion cube. The bullion cube.
The Pauline.
The
Talking
bullion
about
ball.
bouillon, like
Yeah,
the
whatever.
Oh, boy,
when you make
like
broth.
Bouillon.
gold coins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get free of that, right? With those,
free of that with those.
free of that with those. You get that?
Hey, you get free of that with
You
those.
get free of that with those. You get this.
Also, I got new mascara, and last time I saw you guys, I just get fucking raccoon eyes when I see you guys because I laugh so hard, and it's supposed to be fucking waterproof, but I
Yeah.
guess my
But you're cheering
guess,
up and squinting.
I guess my
too much
lids
from
are
laughing.
greasy because I'm like
Greasy Jen.
Yeah,
Down
I'm
to
just
feelings with Greasy Jen.
down to feelings with
With greasy Jen.
G-E-N.
G-E-N. Greasy,
Greasy Jen.
enigmatic Neil.
Greasy enigmatic Neil. That's me.
Yeah.
That's what my parents named me for.
All over.
So I think like last time I saw you guys, I don't know if, or maybe it was when we were at Coney Island, and I was talking, and you were, I don't know if you were privy to this information. No, but we had talked about how I have my best, most coherent thoughts about mental health right before I fall asleep, and maybe I should just start recording them because
Yeah.
it's too hard to write them down. So I did record them this
Oh,
week.
cool.
Oh,
And I
cool.
re-listened to them last night. So they're fucking weird.
Yeah.
They're pretty fucking weird.
Cool.
I couldn't sleep well. This month's been stressful, and I've done a lot of reflection because, like I said, it's the 3-year anniversary of me owning this house. There's been a lot of change in that time. It's also the 2-year anniversary of me being at my job, and I had a job interview for a different position at my work, which I still haven't heard anything about. But it was like a short week last week at my job because of the holiday, and Anne from HR took 2 days off, and I was just screaming outside on my break, and free me from my prison.
No. Oh, her voice
Oh.
is so shrill. Hey.
There's probably someone from Amazon. Hold on.
She's the worst. Sorry, everybody.
Well, Jen's not that bad.
I'm going to put her to sleep.
No.
Jen. Jen, I am.
Abdul will be pretty pissed if he.
Wasn't anyone.
Thanks for defending us, Newt, from nothing.
Good job. You
Dogs
nailed it.
barking. Must be
Cool.
a
Well,
ghost.
dogs barking for nothing means that my house is fucking
It's
haunted.
haunted.
So
Dogs barking must be a ghost.
yeah, totally. Hi. Oh yeah. So my Yeah, so I had a weird. I've had a weird month. This job would be more money. It's closer to my house, but it's a more like fucked up schedule. It's 4 10-hour days with rotating weekends, so it could either be great or it could be like an actual fucking nightmare.
Right.
But either way, I need a change. I feel myself giving up at my job. I can't fucking do it anymore. I'm capable of so much, and I deal with just like so many fucking idiots. Those jobs are so easy, and still for some reason people can't do them, and I get it, but let's see. So I have a couple of things in here. So I had a couple bad omens. Cracked an egg the other day and it was full of blood.
Oh man.
So that was a bummer. It was just like what's that movie? Is it The Craft or is it?
I feel like it happens in The Craft.
I feel like it also happens in
Have I told
Robin
you guys?
Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, it happens in Jawbreaker.
Oh,
Have I told you guys my alternate title for the craft, like Overboat?
No.
I used to call it light as a feather, stiff as my boner.
A goth 5-way.
Yeah.
I thought
Perusa Bach just
Whoa.
fucking.
Woo!
Damn. She got those crazy eyes.
Oh, she's got those crazy everything.
Yeah, for real.
I
Perusa.
love Fruza Balk.
Yeah, me too.
Fruza Balk, if you're listening to this, I'll throw it all the way for you, girl.
Yeah,
Nev Campbell, I'll call you.
I know. All of them are really hot. Fruza Balk, though, we looked it up. She retired from acting.
Yep.
Mhm.
And she opened an occult store in Hollywood that she runs.
Ooh.
So she's a legitimate witch. So
Yeah.
That's dope.
fair.
I'm excited to hear that. But yeah, and then I ate an edible. My friend Roxanne came over. We did
With the blood egg.
no, that was that was
Separate.
later that week.
Yeah.
Blood egg first, and then
I
some
gotta
other
get
stuff.
high about this.
And then me and Roxanne hung out and got really stoned, and we watched TV in bed together, wearing matching sweaters, and also both using a Juul. Just
Sick.
vape queen. We made Abdul sleep at
Vape Nation.
on the floor on these like dog bed things that I have. It was great. We had a great time. But then we came downstairs right when I was like very, very stoned, and the whole house was full of flying ants, and it really bummed me out. And so I spent a lot of time like throwing diatomaceous earth around and like zapping flying ants with like an electric fly swatter and like freaking out. I can't stop picking at my skin.
Yeah.
I have a really big problem with that, and I always have. I have 3 fingers that are basically just scar tissue. It's this one, and this one, and you can tell. It's just always pink.
Yeah.
I literally just bite the skin off my cuticles until it turns into my whole finger, and then someday maybe, I mean, I can't feel anything
Yeah.
with these, so like I often will put out matches with my hands and not feel it, and I always forget about it when I'm around new people, and then they're just like bummed out. They're like, "What the fuck?" And I'm just like, "I can't feel anything. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all scar
Why
tissue."
would someone be bummed
They're
out
just
with
like,
that
"What?"
impressive skill? Like,
I don't know. I think it's just like
They're like, you look
there's
tough
that
as
girl with the
nails.
blood egg, and
Yeah.
who puts
Although-
out the matches on her
Blood
hand.
egg Jen.
Blood egg.
although it
Jen.
looks cool in movies, I probably would be pretty like, ew, if somebody ate their cigar.
Yeah, I guess I would be too.
Yeah, no, it's just like, that's so cool. Is it?
Get this guy away from me.
I know, yeah.
I bet his bed's in the middle of the room.
Yeah, yeah. What are your shits like?
Are they small and after a nap?
I know, yeah, yeah.
Is it mostly farts?
Just all thunder, no lightning.
Yeah.
Also, the term particle boarding has been cracking me up all
Yeah,
week.
Thanks, John Shirley.
Yeah. Other things that happened, I got a pink sweater. Well, that was a good one. The ladies at work really liked my pink sweater. They were
Nice.
like, ooh, and they made me stand up. And they all looked at it. And then they all
Office
tried.
culture's so weird.
It's so bizarre there. It's like having like a million aunts who are
Cheryl,
mostly
did
like...
you see what Jen
Did
was
you
wearing?
see? Did you see what she's wearing? She's not wearing all black today. It's actually this pink sweater. Let me pop this baby on just so you guys can get the full effect.
Can you
That's-
stand up?
That's baby pink.
Yeah, will you stand up when you do it?
Yeah.
Woo! That sure is pink.
I just want
Very nice.
everyone to
Did
know.
you wear it just like that, like not even all the way unrolled?
Yeah.
Just uncomfortably
And then one of them
bunched up beneath your armpits?
One of the Marias fixed it for me. She was like, "Let me tug it. Let me tug it in the back. It's all."
You're always a mess.
I do
There was
love.
a
I
match.
love
Brush
the
your hair today?
One of the
No.
Marias.
What?
One of the Marias.
Yep. There's Maria F and Maria C.
Yeah.
One of them's
And
worse.
I have a
I
favorite.
don't remember which one.
C.
C's worse.
She's fucking so stupid.
Maria C, fuck you.
Okay, why are you so dumb? You're so nice.
You
You're
can-
so incapable. Oh my god, I hope
You
she
can
won't
tell
listen.
by which one's worse by the level of the swear you could say and
That's
how
true.
comfortable you'd be with it.
Maria
Oh.
F is much more acceptable than Maria C.
Definitely.
C, yeah.
She brought me-
Maria C, no thank you.
Maria F brought me that spider plant.
Oh, fucking dope.
Also, also one of my work friends who is Puerto Rican says in Puerto Rico they call it bat mother because it throws the babies down, and I thought that was really cute.
The plant?
Yeah, they call spider that plant.
Oh,
Maria.
I got like
Oh.
really weirded out for a second.
Oh, yeah,
I was like, what is
They call
what?
them Maria's bat mother. Sorry, I'm a
They
little
call
bit
all the
out of it
Marias
today.
bat mother because they throw their babies on
They
the
throw
ground.
the babies. They go, yeah, they call it bat mother because they throw the babies.
In homage to Aerosmith.
Throw the baby.
Those gross band. I don't even know what they're called. I hate them so much.
I hate them.
They gotta be more than one person.
Yeah.
They've got to be.
There's
Well-
one dude that looks like a grandmother.
Yeah, it's just the one dude.
Grandma.
Pink, it's my favorite crayon.
Little pink sweaters.
Pink, it's
Well.
like red, but not quite.
But with
Wow,
white.
Steven
It's like
Tyler.
it's like red, but with white.
Oh, it is.
Also,
That's what
That's
it
how
is.
you
pink.
make pink.
Is it?
Yes, dude.
Oh, that fucking loser.
Have you ever listened to that song? It's
No, I haven't. I
incredible.
haven't listened to
obviously
that song.
Pink like the big on your cherry.
Yeah, please stop, because I don't want to even know any more of a
It's
song.
Yeah.
so-
I
it's
try
like,
and get at least a little amount of
if
information
there
about
was
it as possible.
Any reason,
Worst.
just one reason. There's many, but there's just one reason why we should put Aerosmith in the ICE detention centers and take all of the children and give them back to their parents.
We'll do a
and
trade.
just leave Aerosmith in this empty Walmart.
I'm pretty sure if you
It's that
if you
song.
brought Aerosmith to the empty Walmart, or to the Walmart, it's not empty currently. I think people would just be like, "Nah, I'm good,"
No,
and all the kids would just be like, "I'm set." Can we-"
Wayne Stock would happen.
Yeah,
If you,
I
Oh,
refuse
yeah.
to watch that
if
movie.
You book it, they will come.
I refuse to watch that movie now because I remember watching it as a kid and then realizing when I started to rewatch it as an adult that I was like, this movie is bookended with the only thing in the world I hate. The
Yes.
beginning of the movie, they go to see Aerosmith,
Yeah.
and then the end of the movie, the
Aerosmith
quote
plays.
unquote good ending
Is Aerosmith?
is
saves the
Aerosmith,
day.
and I'm just like, no, fuck this movie, I'm out.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I
I'm
don't
an Alice
give-
Cooper person.
If you give
Yeah,
me
why
the
didn't
most
it feed my
delicious,
Frankenstein win?
if you give me the most delicious sandwich, but the bread is pieces of shit, I'm not gonna eat that.
Still eating that sandwich.
sorry.
Oh, wait.
I'll eat the middle. I'll
You
eat.
got it wrong.
Oh,
I'll
fuck.
take. I'll
You
take.
can't have it.
Oh,
You get
I'll,
sick.
I'll
shit
take out
sandwich.
a thing of the middle of it. Like,
Just the middlemost
yeah,
piece.
I'll watch a middle 15 minutes of the movie.
That's why you have a protective layer of mayonnaise
Yeah.
on both shit breads.
Shitbreads? Yeah, that'll be fine. It's fine.
Protects it.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise and shit can't
like
mix.
Also, sorry,
I
I'm
like
not
you
on my
said
phone. I'm
did you
looking
say
at
thin or
notes.
thick?
I'm on my phone all the time, man. You be on your phone.
No, I'm not.
We're very important people. We're famous. We're local celebrities.
That's
the Crying
true.
Gang.
But also, I want you guys to know that I'm thinking of you and I'm part of this. But
You don't want us to know that?
no, I do.
She's just
Yeah.
texting Alana how much she hates us
Oh my
and
god,
how
Alana, they're
they
fucking
keep
here again.
interrupting me. Like you
I
said,
talked
they
to her on the
shouldn't.
phone the other night when I was putting it through the thing to
Yeah.
to put it down. She was just like, I can't wait to hear it. I said, you get razzed a lot.
Yeah, there's some razzing of Alana.
Yeah.
In that
Yeah, yeah.
episode.
It's really
We're
good.
razzing you again. Take two.
Yeah.
Love you, girl.
I hope you never meet you in real life. I'll interrupt you so much with hilarious jokes.
She knocks on the door.
Oh
She's
shit!
ready to
Oh,
Is
no.
this a sting?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Why don't you have a seat? I'm making cookies.
So you said you were going to
It says here in the transcript.
Yeah.
You said you were going to
interrupt with
me.
hilarious jokes. Now, what are these hilarious
What
jokes?
does that mean?
Yeah.
You drove all the way here from Grafton Hill with a box of donuts and your tiny dog, and you were just gonna interrupt me with hilarious jokes.
I didn't know it was
Just-
for real. I mean, a friend
I
told me
was
to
just
come.
being stupid, I guess.
No. There aren't really
that?
brownies.
Where's that
That's
adorable
my
little
favorite
dog?
line from that.
She's probably causing trouble.
I love her. She's so cute. She's fine. There's pretty much nothing in this house that she can fuck up.
That's what you think.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of things that can fuck up my house, the other night I was just trying to hang out. I had my Friday night all planned. This is part of my week, I guess. Not to bring it back around, but
To me?
I was, just a little bit, I was a little stoned. I was just hanging out, just playing a game on my phone, and I was getting ready to do some stuff, and then I saw a little fucking tail, a tiny little tail, and it went into my closet, and I
Uh-oh.
freaked the fuck
A little
out.
mousy?
It was a little mouse, and
Oh,
then
man.
I But I was freaked out at first because I wasn't sure if it was a mouse. Because one time when I first moved here, I saw a house centipede that I thought was a mouse, but it was a fucking house centipede, and it was sentient.
Big.
It was sentient. It saw me and it turned back around,
Oh, jeez.
and I was like, "Oh
That has
no."
never happened. Oh, thank goodness I have never. I'm so sorry.
It sucked.
I've never.
And
I've
so-
only seen them like running up a wall or like away. I've
No.
never seen it turn around.
It was the worst, and it turned around, and
Ugh.
so that kind of threw me off. And then I spent a really long time standing on a tall stool, handing Abdul things from my closet to see if I could get to it. And then I saw it, and then it went through the cracks in the wall. And then I was like, "Oh my god, now it's in our bedroom because our closets like touch."
Conjoined.
Yeah, and so then I was going to sleep, and I have like a pillowcase I have a silk pillowcase that is supposed to be good for your hair. It doesn't help if you don't give a fuck about your hair. Just by the way, everyone. And so I picked it up off the floor because we have a bunch of pillows, and then the mouse ran under it, and I was like, oh, fuck, that mouse is that mouth, that face, those hands, that tail. The earth. The
mouth.
And then I was like so nervous all night I couldn't fall asleep because I didn't want it to touch my mouth with its hands.
Yeah.
I was like, it's gonna crawl up onto the bed. It's gonna touch.
That's what they do, mice at night. They come up and they just massage your lips.
Are there any crumbs
here?
There sure are.
Yeah.
So I decided that I can't be a trash person anymore, and I took all the dishes. I had so many fucking old dishes. So everywhere. Actually, we got rid of a bed frame so that I couldn't put dishes underneath
I
there.
bet you anything.
And so-
I bet you anything. Abdul bought a mouse and let it loose in the bedroom.
Just to,
Finally.
God damn it!
just
I
stop
knew it.
eating. Yeah.
Oh God, it was.
You know, mice love chicken parm.
And they love when there's chicken parm crumbs all over your fucking. What?
Little mice
Which
do.
one? Which one?
See, that's the part of the mice I hate because like mice are cute and they're harmless, except that they shit everywhere.
And I've never seen mouse shit anywhere, and I'm freaked the fuck out.
They're just
So-
little pellets.
I just and-
Sometimes it looks like black pepper.
yeah, and I guess, and I've heard them in the walls.
Sometimes a little too much like black pepper, I'd like to say.
Mouse poop is not as spicy as black pepper. I will tell you that.
Good to
Not
know.
as
I won't
spicy.
be using it, but
A
yeah,
little
so
spicy still.
I freaked
But
out.
maybe
and
just
I-
because it ate all my
Yeah,
pepper.
Still spicy, but not as. Let's just say it's a lesser pepper.
Yeah.
a lesser pepper.
Let's just say that
I
mouse
keep
shit is a
bouncing my
lesser
nose on
pepper.
the microphone. I hope it
That's
comes up.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's not a big deal.
Doesn't-
Wait,
doesn't
are
s-
you doing it?
Cool.
I don't think it's registering.
Giving my microphone Eskimo kisses
Yeah.
because I'm a professional.
Yeah. And I love my microphone. I love you, microphone. I love you so much.
I bet I could fit a whole thing in my mouth.
I bet you could, just like Newt's snout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snout and mouth.
This is bigger than her snout.
Yeah.
Her snout's smaller.
Way
Her snout.
smaller. Maybe like.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
the Newt snout. Dude,
Um,
come here. I need to compare your snout.
Well, I'm really bummed about the mouse trails in the house now.
I mean, it's gonna
But-
happen if you get mice.
Yeah, so I bought a bunch of traps online. I bought one of those blacklight flashlights to figure out where they're coming in from.
Oh,
I
man.
also bought
Full CSI.
shitload of fucking peppermint oil because I really don't want to kill them. So I got humane traps, but next step is to get the snap traps.
Do the dryer sheets too is really good.
Oh,
If you find any, because mice can sneak into a hole that is dime sized.
Yeah.
They can
which
squeeze
is
into it.
nuts.
So if you look around your house and you see any holes like that, if you shove a dryer sheet into that,
Oh.
they do not like the smell.
Oh, okay, that's
Yep.
awesome. That's great. Great to
Yep.
know because
I know
I'm
from
sure there's a
working at a
family
bar
of them
that
now.
you might work at.
Hmm. That doesn't seem like a place that would have mice or rats.
It's Rouse. Go Hot Dog Annie's.
Wow. Bullshit.
Yeah. How do you think I felt when you tore my bread and butter
Like how
to
we're
shreds?
both tearing our places of business apart, but supporting hot dog
I
Annie's.
know, yeah. I've never
Go Hot
been.
Dog
The barbecue sauce is so delicious.
I've never been. I want
I
to
just
go.
don't like bees.
What?
Yeah,
Do you like bees?
I love.
There's
bees.
a lot
There's
of
a lot of
bees
bees
at
there
Hot
for
Dog
you.
Cool, I've
That's
never
the
been
one thing I've
stung.
always said for people because I really don't care if you like Hot Dog Annie's. I like Coney Island more.
Yeah.
But if you like Hot Dog Annie's, right on. Eat what you like. It doesn't matter to me. The one thing I will always say though is just like Hot Dog Annie's has totally beaten the bees department. Like
By a lot.
By a lot. Like
there's zero bees at
guaranteed-
Coney Island.
Zero bees at
Zero
Coney
bees.
Lots of bees
Guaranteed.
I
Guaranteed.
mean, you're pretty much in the woods, but we should go to Hot Dog Annie's
Yeah.
because that barbecue sauce is delicious. Also,
I love sauce.
where they kick the shit out of Coney Island, which is a huge thing for hot dogs for me.
Yeah.
Butter grilled buns.
Oh fuck, that's
Yeah.
a game changer.
That's a
for me
real
as
big
well,
deal breaker.
because
See,
I
I
love
grew up with steamed.
Yeah.
Bob's Hot Dogs was where I used to go.
Ooh.
Bob's Hot Dogs was just a van by a reservoir, and he had steamed dogs and buns. It was my first introduction to polar soda, everything like that. That was the place
Yeah.
that, like, even when I didn't grow up going to Coney Island, it was Bob's Hot Dogs.
see.
Like, and that place is like, it's unfortunately
R.I.P.
gone
in
'cause-
peace.
Yeah, but go Bob. Like Bob's Hot Dogs.
But God bless.
God bless the man.
God bless.
bless.
God bless his van by the castle.
God
You
bless.
know what it mean? You know what I mean if you know
Yeah.
Bob's Hot Dogs.
Yeah.
They made a cat's meow of him. That's how successful it was.
Ooh.
A mom in Connecticut painted a piece of wood to have a van and a cat on it. That's
Holy
how you
shit.
know it made it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. 1,000%.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But,
So
yeah.
bees and mice.
Bees and mice. Yeah, so I guess we have a fucking mouse problem, which is really bumming me out. But honestly, I feel lucky because we haven't had any other problems here, which has been good. Besides those fucking flying ants, but they're gone now. I took
Yeah.
care of them.
You know what? Mice are really also afraid of that works is house centipedes. If you get a whole bunch of them, they get terrified.
Oh,
There'll be a
God, I have to
great.
start
There'll be a
br-
great war.
Now I
Yeah,
have to start
a great
breeding
war.
them.
Yes.
Fuck.
I mean,
They live longer than mice.
really?
House centipedes live to be like 7 or 8 years old.
Whoa,
Human years.
man.
Mice live to be about like, I think 3 to 5. I think 5 is
I
like
mean,
a
none of
stretch.
them. There'll be a great war, and none of them. Will
Yeah,
be.
it'll
Yeah.
be
All of them will
horrible.
die.
It'll be my worst fucking nightmare.
There can
I
be
guess,
no peace between house
I guess the
centipedes
time-
and house
that's-
mice.
Although you,
You know, it's my time to check out a different state, maybe. Get the fuck out of here.
Sell the house. Just don't tell them about the mice.
Yeah,
I
no
can ima-
mice here.
There's no great war brewing in the walls of this place between the centipedes I've released and the
Massachusetts,
house mice.
Massachusetts rule, you don't have to tell them about the ghost,
You
That's
don't-
true.
Yeah,
You
do have
don't.
to tell them about the lead, but not the ghost.
but not
Yeah.
the ghost. You can let the
Yeah.
ghost. What if you have a lead ghost?
Tell them about the lead, not the ghost.
Yeah.
Do not the ghost part of it.
There's a
You
floating.
no,
lead.
you have to say it, but it can be quiet. You can be like, "Oh, we have a lead ghost. It's a little lead ghost." Yeah,
What?
no.
A
Did you
le-
say ghost? No, I
no.
said lead ghost.
I don't have to tell you what I
I
said.
just run out of breath. It's a long word for
Yeah.
me.
I do
Yeah.
not have to tell you the
Lead.
second part of what I
Lead
said
ghost.
by law. By law,
By
I do
law.
not have to tell you the second part of what I said.
The great lead ghost.
Yeah. Or
Sorry, I'm just staring at
Many
your dog.
pencils died in this house. Yeah, I mean, she's adorable.
She's really cute.
But
Oh,
she's
also,
fucking disgusting.
Abdul found a stray dog.
Oh,
Named,
yeah.
Yeah, that I
Weren't
really...
you
Under your
waiting back
bed?
to hear from them?
Yeah, he got picked up the same day by his family, which is
that's
good.
nice.
But I really wanted him. He was really cute.
Cockatoo?
Is
Cockatoo?
a cockatoo? Yeah,
Cuckold.
bird.
it's a
Cuckold.
cuckold.
Yeah,
Cuckold.
cuckold.
A cuckold,
Cuckold.
cuckold Spaniard.
A
Cuckold
cuckold.
spaniel.
No,
The old-
cuckold Spaniard.
Yeah, that was the kind of dog.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just a dude with a cock
Cuckold
brace.
Yeah. Don't call Spaniards cuck, or don't call them dogs, please.
Cuckold span.
You can call Spaniards cuckolds, but you can't call them dogs, please.
But yeah, so I immediately named him Marvin. Didn't even meet him. Sorry, Abdul, for always naming everything before
Yeah.
you even get a fucking chance to think about it. But yeah, he was really cute, and I was happy that his family found him. But also, like, I was like, fuck, I really want a dog. I mean, like, I love Bella, and she's great, but
She's not your dog.
she's not my dog. She's
Yeah.
my friend dog, you know. But
Dog
like, I can't force her to watch Law and Order while sitting on my lap.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. No, she's giving me the no fucking way.
yeah, she's just-
She's giving me the look. She's just staring off into space.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
By not looking at you, we all know that look.
Yep, exactly.
She's like hard pass on Law and Order.
Yeah, thanks. It's too much drama.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's,
That'll mess up your day. Wrong episode.
Yeah.
really long. 45 minutes.
Woof.
Woof.
But yeah, it's been like it's been a weird fucking week. A weird month.
Yeah.
Anxious-y, kind of too hot. Haven't gotten as much done as I wanted to kind
Yeah.
of month.
Hey,
But
dude, fuck summer. I hate
yeah,
it.
totally.
Yeah.
Fuck all
I like the
seasons.
sunshine.
Yeah.
because the darkness bums me out.
Yeah.
Darkness
But
bums me
everything
out,
else about winter I prefer.
Well, there's one thing
Yeah.
too.
I
I
like
was
the cold. I don't mind the snow.
One of
What
the
was it?
notes I had left. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
No. One of the notes I left myself. One of my recordings was, I don't think I like any of the seasons anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think there's anything I like about any of them.
Well, it's
But-
like I was talking with Josh the other day, and just talking about how people are just like, I just don't trust people who are like, I love summer.
Yeah.
Like I love summer. It's like, I don't
Yeah.
get it. Like
Yeah.
because I don't think they do is because what I think is because when they say that, it's like days where it's like 70
Like today.
and
Yeah.
like stuff like that. Was like, oh, so you like spring?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Like-
Summer is like,
It's summer in the sun right
The-
now, but spring in the
Yeah,
shade.
the great,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
great part of summer is just like are only the days that are like spring,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like-
which means that
Precisely.
they're just
and then the end when like the days of summer kind of feel like fall.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's
And
also
like
fun.
this year has been like really shitty because it snowed up until my birthday,
Yeah,
so that sucked.
I always think it's weird too. That does suck. I'm sorry.
It snowed on my birthday. I was like, what the fuck is this?
They
Oh no.
I always feel do people I think it's kind of weird. I feel like whenever when someone asks what your favorite season is, I feel people only can pick summer or winter.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's a cop out. Like if you say spring or fall, people are like fuck you. Like
Yeah.
extreme or nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, we're
It's
all
like-
from New England, so everybody's favorite season is fall.
Yeah, totally.
Oh no, I'm spring. Still spring. Cuz I love the warm up.
Instagram.
I love the like feeling of when your like shoulders finally like drop
Yeah.
after the winter, after they've just been like tensed up for like 3 months,
Yep.
4 months in this case or whatever.
It's like
But
6.
then like yeah, and then all of a sudden like the first nice day, actual nice day, you just feel the like whoa, like I can walk
Cool.
like a human
I'm
being.
Not as
Like,
depressed
yeah.
anymore, No, but sorry, you can go. You want your
Yeah, let's talk about your month.
your month? That's
Eric's
what it is.
turn.
Yeah, woo!
Woo.
The party you've had.
The winner.
The grand winner of this week's Crying Gang podcast, Eric John Yankus Franco.
Let me move my ribbon. My ribbon's
That
getting
belt-
in the way.
That belt looks
Yeah.
great on you.
And this trophy, I've glued a trophy to my belt.
Really
Perfect.
heavy. It's
The
dragging
inner-
your pants
Looks
down.
great.
Not the inappropriate way.
I don't know what that
Yeah.
means.
Like out.
Like, yeah, that's
Like
inappropriate. Or hanging down. It's pointing right up
Oh,
to
I
my
see what
belly.
you're saying.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Displaying the, like,
Yeah.
the trophy.
It's a real display.
Yeah, it's, I had to do it with a bit of class.
Yeah.
When I wear my
Elegant in victory.
coolest, biggest sad boy,
Biggest sad boy award.
yeah, it's been a very rough month, as it seems to constantly be with me. Although I had I think I had a B plus not too long ago. That was pretty good.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, because there's a strange part about it where I feel like this is where it's like I know, that it's actually depression and stuff like that because like I was riding high for a bit.
Yeah.
And, like you saw me when I was like because I was like, man, like I'm not currently going to jail. Everything's going
Yeah.
all right. Like
Sick.
the world is the world, and I was feeling great. And then like all that shit, like gone.
You're in
Gone.
jail now.
I'm currently in
Yeah.
jail.
We're from Worcester County.
Worcester
jail.
Penitentiary
Thanks for
Maximum
bringing
security.
thanks for bringing the donuts.
for deranged citizens.
We'll have to push them through that face mask. that
Yeah,
we
Yeah.
don't
do.
I'm
eat-
sorry.
Don't eat the cream-filled one, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, they already took all the nail clippers you put in there, which again, thank you, but I don't know what the nail clippers necessarily
We're
would
trying
do.
to let you know your
I'm
toenails are
confused.
very long.
I could make like a couple of tiny shanks. Like I could be like a baby Wolverine.
Eric, the baby Wolverine, Yankus Franco.
The pup.
Also, I don't know why I
The
made
Wolverine pup.
why I originally made a cat noise.
Wolvie.
Wolverines are dogs, right?
Baby Wolverine. Your
Baby-
ex-babies?
Baby Wolvie.
Yeah. Welcome to the
Ex-babies?
Loki-verse. This is
Yeah.
ex-babies. That's a real thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's so cute, like Muppet Babies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Aw.
It's
I like
based
baby
on
anything, obviously.
So there's this character Mojo,
Mhm.
who's this
Oh, yeah,
interdimensional or just interplanetary. He's like an alien. He lives on this world, and basically he's
Mojo.
the president. He lives on Mojo World, and he's the president of Mojo Vision, which is a TV station where it's like he programs all this TV, and he abducts the X-Men because they have superpowers. He's going to make them fight stuff.
And others. He objects.
Tons of people.
Yeah, abducts anybody from.
Is this
all
a
over
then
baby
he-
space and
fight
time.
club?
No. At first it's the real X-Men, but then he figures out because the X-Men keep escaping and fucking up his shit.
Mhm.
So he creates clone baby versions of them because at the time that they did it in the comic books, Muppet Babies was on TV and popular.
Oh yeah.
And so they made the X Babies as a thing. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, I believe it.
It sounds
Yeah.
really cute.
Yeah, but it's just tiny little X-Men
Do they make like?
babies.
Is there like a tiny?
No, they
storm
mostly
who
just
makes like a tiny
Yeah.
rain cloud.
Yep. And they mostly just like
Cool.
fuck up Mojo shit.
Yeah,
Just like the real X-Men, but
Yeah.
baby versions of them.
that makes sense.
But
Totally.
anyway,
Probably a little more terrifying. Slightly.
it's definitely terrifying.
Yeah,
Baby Colossus rules.
Oh my god, yeah. Colossus was one of my favorites growing
Me
up.
too, man. Colossus
a,
and
uh,
Nightcrawler.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nightcrawler's so cool. I loved the little fun fact of like whenever he bamfs, it smells.
Yeah.
It's not a good
Sulfur,
smelling
dude,
thing.
yeah.
Where like that's part of like the power that I love because you're like, wow, the coolest power in the world, and then like, but also realizing
It's
just
like
like,
a
when
fart.
you like disappearing and doing it would be fantastic, but when you have to reappear,
Yeah, in
like,
your own
it's
fart
still there.
cloud.
I know, yeah.
And he only had 3 toes and
Yeah.
had to look like a demon.
Look bad.
He also was religious, which like I didn't understand when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
not as cool as when I was adult.
I guess like yeah. I mean, I guess
Just
like,
Still
weird.
teleporting.
it's like
rules.
how like what is it? Hunchback Quasimodo is also religious. Like yeah. When you're
I mean, he worked in a church. Was he really religious?
Yeah, I think-
Is that the only place you can get a job?
well, no, I think that they gave him asylum or sanctuary,
Oh,
not
okay.
asylum. They gave him
Asylum.
asylum.
Political asylum?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he lived in that empty Walmart. You know?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He applied for asylum. It took a long time.
Took a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Notre Dame is a city in Arizona.
Yeah, yeah. Go Brady.
Yeah.
He plays for Notre Dame, right?
He does,
yeah,
yeah.
Wait, how did we get on this? What were we talking about?
My
Eric-
shitty week.
Oh
We
yeah.
were
yeah.
talking
Shitty
about
month.
Eric
Shitty
being in
month.
prison,
Yeah,
Eric being-
maybe.
and
yeah.
then he was Baby Wolverine.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was baby
Oh, yeah,
Wolverine.
and
One
then-
thing leads to another.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tit for tat.
Okay, cool. Now I'm bringing. It's coming back to
Alright,
me now.
story
Yeah.
But
Begat.
really,
Nothing. I still have no information on everything. Court date is in roughly 2 weeks from now. More than according to may possibly get a phone call saying that it's postponed again. That's like don't know. Like still
have
once
to go.
again unknown. Still seems like I mean we'll see because they were like unless something happens I won't like they seem pretty positive I won't have to go down there.
Cool.
But my friend got his sentence and everything like that, and so he had it's not too bad. Oh, it was $290, which he paid, and has to do
$290.
$290.
So $180
$2
bucks.
$290.
$290 of dollars.
And then has to do I think 50 or 60 hours of community service, which was like really funny hearing him complain about it because it was like so just like it's the worst, like it's so stupid I have to do this, it's the worst.
You're
And
like,
it's
I still might
I'm
go
just
to
like-
jail.
and it's like yeah I was like you know that what you have to do is my minimum,
yeah,
like
Yeah.
I'm getting more than that,
yeah.
like whatever, like this is at least what I'm getting, like
And then some.
and then some, like yeah, like it's not even the least I'm getting.
If I'm lucky.
Yeah.
If I'm lucky I'll get a little bit more than this.
Yeah.
Like but that's the like lucky
That'll be my slap on the wrist.
yeah. Yeah, not going to jail is my slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Like that's which is like crazy. Went to Colorado, had a decent time there.
Did you smoke fat doinks and Amish?
Legally no.
Good man.
Yeah.
Clean and sober.
Yep. Also they don't sell doinks to the Amish. Just so you know.
Wow. Well, big doinks and Amish guy died in the past month, so R.I.P. in peace.
I have no idea who that is, but I'm very sorry
Oh,
for
it's
all
an-
of his
an-
friends and family.
Yeah, I'll show you the internet video
Okay,
afterwards.
cool. Yeah.
It's just some fat guy who was smoking.
That's the thing
Smoking weed.
that's funny too. Is like for the amount of time that I spend inside, I think people think that I look
You're
at
on
the
the
internet
internet all the
more
time? Nope.
and just like then you must be reading. No, A lot of staring.
It's got a cool wall.
A lot of sweet ass wall.
Yeah.
I just love setting up
If that
TV.
wall could talk, it'd be like, hey, stop staring at me.
Yeah. Cut it out, dude.
Yeah, what are you looking at? Take a picture, it'll last longer. And then hang it on me so you have something to look at.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. Equally as unimpressed. That's what that's my wall would say to me. I did get to see my friend George out in Colorado. That was cool. It was nice. I owe you chocolate syrup, dude. Sorry about that.
Wow.
I do. I
Damn.
owe his family.
You drank up all his chocolate
I
syrup?
don't know. What happened was when he got married, I married them, as it's called officially.
Marriage.
Married them. It was a fun wedding. We did a Mad Libs wedding. It was cool.
Oh,
But then my gift to them was a lifetime supply of Hershey syrup. Because I've always liked that gift from TV shows. Remember, like, that's what you get, like,
Yeah.
runner-up prize,
Right.
lifetime supply of
What am I
Hershey
gonna
syrup.
do with all of this?
So I gave him, I think, like 6 bottles of it on their wedding, and they have like 3 kids. And then he told me a story. I haven't seen him in like 5-6 years, and there was like one of the kids, I guess, was going for Hershey syrup, squeezed it, and it went. And it's like, oh man, with a lifetime supply, that should never happen. So I started to feel like shit about that, which is like a funny thing because it's like a joke thing
Yeah.
that I was doing for him, but like genuinely just like, what a fucking shithead, dude.
But
Like,
also,
you
give
can't
these-
even buy them like.
I mean, to be
Thing of
fair,
Hershey
you didn't
syrup?
know you were biting into, you know? That's a lot of kids.
yeah, and also the best part about chocolate syrup running out is that you just put milk in there and then you shake it up and then you spray it right into your mouth and it's super chocolatey.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time.
Well, I hope they listen to
Genius.
this and like back off.
Back
Off,
off.
Hey,
kids.
kids, back off.
George,
Uncle
you're
Eric.
cool, but kids, back off. I know you're on my side on this,
Get a
dude.
job so you can buy your own fucking Hershey syrup. It was free Hershey syrup for your parents, not you, you little shits.
Yeah, you didn't. Thank God none of you guys got married because that would have been the weirdest.
We don't support baby marriage.
Very against baby marriage.
I don't know. I mean,
Except the X
I'm
baby.
still.
Unless they're, I was gonna say unless they're 2 X-Men.
Yeah.
It's not recognized. It's not a recognized marriage.
Do they recognize
Yeah,
mutant
no,
baby?
They're
I
fighting.
don't know what the
mutant
rules.
marriage?
I don't know
Fighting
what
for
the
rights.
child bride laws are on Mojo World, but
Yeah,
I'll get back to you.
I'm sure it's entertaining, whatever they are.
Yeah.
If you know Mojo, that's a funny joke. It's very funny.
I know him personally.
Yeah,
so
if
I
you're a big
find it
fan, if you're a
entertaining.
big fan, if you get his Christmas cards every year, then you definitely know what I'm
Those
talking
aren't
about.
funny. Surprisingly,
The Christmas
solemn.
cards?
Yes.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
I
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
Sorry, Jen.
Yeah.
Insiders, Mojo friends only.
It's fine.
That's like going back to what you were saying about like someone playing like like 4th edition D&D and just like and getting like upset like no, like that's not how it is. It's just like the same thing of getting upset with someone if they get like a superhero's power wrong.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Actually, no.
I do. So I do this bit where I like.
Polaris's powers aren't the same as Scarlet Witch's, buddy.
Yeah. Actually, she technically has inherited her father's magnetism powers. If you believe one of the many canon lines where Magneto is the father of Polaris, which may or may not be true. I did that.
Let us be fair that Magneto is not the father of any children, but Eric Magnus would be.
There, Eric Lenshear, as is known.
Yeah.
So
I'll be
we-
right back. I have to go do my podcast on how much I hate you guys.
So I do that all the time. I'll like people will get nerdy stuff wrong, and then I do it sarcastically because I notice that it's wrong, but I would never actually do it. But then I'm actually doing it.
You're still
but
doing
nerd
it.
voice. But so we went and did.
That makes the blow easier to know that you're wrong.
So one of the days that I had violent diarrhea from stress last week.
Yeah.
One of the many
or
days.
this week, yes. I took an Imodium, and me and Sam went to the mall to do an escape room.
Oh, so you broke
And
edge.
Cool.
Yeah, I did. Constipation medicine, really. So we went and did a Sherlock Holmes one, and it was literally in a mall store, so there were just shitty cubicles decorated to look like Sherlock Holmes' house. And there's supposed to be a bookshelf on the wall. And
Escape the cube.
exactly. And
You just have to go. You just have to
But
climb
the
over.
bookshelf was just printed book wallpaper.
Oh my goodness.
So one of the clues was about counting the amount of swords in Fritz Lieber's novels on the wall. So you have to like count the number of books written by Fritz Lieber that have sword in the title to figure out the clue. So I counted, and then we're on the way out, and I was like, actually, that clue wasn't, like, authentic because technically Sherlock Holmes takes place in the 1920s, but Fritz Lieber's books weren't written until the 1960s. And I just think that historically that's inaccurate. It really brought me out of the moment. So I was just, like, doing that, and it was like, I thought it was really funny. I think Sam thought it was funny, but also really hated it. And, like, girl at the counter overheard it, did not think it was funny, I don't think.
I love shit like that, and also for the amount of TV that I watch, I'm forming slowly a conspiracy theory about. I'm someone's worst nightmare if they've made like a flub in a TV show because I will find it.
Yeah.
Because I will watch it over and over and over again.
And over and over.
You dream
and
of being a
over.
script supervisor.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I had to stop watching King of the Hill for a while because I was just mouthing along with all the dialogue. Now it's.
Gotta take a
I
break.
don't remember all of it. Also, I have to pee again. So keep going. Keep talking. Over.
Yeah.
All right, Eric. Lay it on us.
I'll do a good segue here for the editing. So
Well,
Bella's
there
working
it
in
is.
the
there it is. That's my segue. Yeah. So I came back from Colorado and just have felt kind of like shit since I came back. The not meeting up, I feel, with you guys has definitely like gotten to me as well, because I think a lot of it. I know. You're gonna what?
Bella, what? Come on, let's go lay down in the living room. You have already had a cookie. Come on, come sit with that stool. Come on.
Belly.
Yeah, we call her
That's a good
Belly.
nickname.
No.
Thank you, dog wrangler. Sorry, but we're.
Oh, that's all right.
He's bringing him
The
upstairs.
dog now too. No, yeah, just
No.
I don't know. It's been reminding me of my time with the psychiatrists that I saw, and just the idea where it's like, I went through 3 in a year and a half,
Yeah.
and then
it's
I
a
was like,
lot.
oh no, like I'm doing the same thing to these two. Like,
No.
yeah, there's like, yeah, it turns out I can't even talk about depression anymore. Like,
That avenue's closed for you.
yeah, it's out. So that's been like a certain. So I think that's like not venting or talking has
Yeah.
like definitely affected the month. And then my good for the microphone. My friend Liam, who I talked about, passed away. It was rough. Cancer for several years. Went into remission. It was in his lungs. Went to his mouth. Clean living guy. I think I mentioned this stuff before. But Liam Sullivan was a very cool dude. We were given notice basically that he had less than a week left. We were given that heads up. Ended up going to his house with a bunch of his friends, people that knew him. His mom and dad were there. First day he didn't want visitors, so we just hung out on the porch, talked about him basically, which is like, or just talked, just people conversing. And then the next day went over the house and got a chance to go up and see him. He was letting people come up there. He was basically he's on the bed, skin and bones, can't talk because of the mouth cancer, big tumor there. So there wasn't. We hung out for about an hour and a half, me and my friend Greg and his wife Jess, and we were talking, including him when we could. I mean, obviously not asking him too many questions. I texted him a couple times while we were up there because, it's easier for him, but he was like too weak to really write full like responses back. But I get to say like how big of an influence he was on me, how like he's a great guy. He's incredibly smart. He's been in so many bands since he was 18, like Wister heavy centric bands. Villain, Hitler's Wheelchair, Bovachevo was the one I was in with him. Of Corpse, and goes on and on and on and on. He's just always doing music. He was one of the most driven people I've ever met. A very socially awkward guy. Had no tact, which is really funny telling stories about him, like later on, with friends and everything. Because a lot of the stories are like, and then Liam did this fucking thing, where it's like, and like they usually involve him being rude to teach you something, and it being like, oh, fuck you. Like, but I mean, you're right, but like, fuck you, dude. Why'd you have to do it that way? Like, stuff like that. But he was his own guy. And it was great. And there's going to be a, memorial, for him. He didn't have a service. He wasn't into that sort of thing. So he went, at the Hotel Vernon, September 8th is the date that we have so far of when we're going to be doing something. There's going to be a bunch of bands. I think a microphone set up for just people if they want to say something about him, but it's just going to be more of a, he wasn't a religious or a very spiritual man.
Mhm.
So there was no like funeral or anything like that.
Yeah.
He was, cremated, in a Bovachevo shirt, which is interesting and very like it was a sweet message to hear, but then also like weird because I was like telling Maddie like I was like, did he just hate Bovachevo? Did he not like the shirt? Or it's like just burn it,
His least
get
favorite
rid of it. Yeah, get rid of all my
I
Bovachevo
don't want
stuff.
anybody else to own this.
Yeah.
It's what gave me the cancer.
But yeah, there's two shirts that eventually we're gonna make. We'll probably like sell them and do like a donation thing to something probably cancer, but I think cancer is I don't think cancer needs the money. It's
They've got
I don't know.
got a
Well,
lot of
here's one
money.
thing I will say. I've been saying to cancer, I've been saying cancer sucks and fuck cancer for a long time, and then I was thinking, I was just like, oh man, is cancer just pissed, taking people out of spite now? Or just like, anyone think about saying sorry to cancer?
I'm sorry, cancer.
Sorry, cancer.
Feeling-
We all treat
taking
it with
a
aggression, and it doesn't seem to be helping.
You've really been vilified.
Yeah, you've been vilified. What's your
For
story?
murdering
You know what?
people.
Cancer, what's your story? Tell me your story, buddy. Email us.
cryinggang@gmail.
Yeah, we'd love to get an email from Cancer. See what your whole side of the story is. What I'm saying is there's good people on both sides.
Maybe
Um,
cancer just had a troubled childhood, you know?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, we haven't got to know. It's always just like, yeah.
Is cancer nature or nurture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it both? Is it both? Well, it's big on nurturing itself, I think.
That's true.
Naturally. So there's two shirts that I definitely want to make. So while we're hanging out with Liam, there was one point near the end of our conversation where Greg and I were just talking about a movie, and we look up, and I know this is recording, so it's hard to see, but Liam can't speak, and he does these hand movements, which I'll do for these two and describe them for everybody else, which is basically wrap it up and go. And that like nothing could describe Liam more
Yeah.
of like a way like he like wide-eyed looked at us like hand whirly motion above head and then to the door. And then we like, but it was nice, or as we took it, it could have been like, fuck you dudes, get out. But we were like, all right, and said goodbye to him and everything. But he had a lot of visitors all day. We
Yeah.
left,
Yeah.
more people were coming
And
back
you guys
out.
were talking about my life, which is like
I know you were
little on
talking
the
about,
nose.
yeah. We're like, man, like I know, like
You
I
guys
was
were
like,
talking about
why
the
did he
C
get,
word?
Why did he get pissed off at Philadelphia? It's not even the same thing.
Yeah. It's not like you had AIDS, dude.
Yeah, back off, buddy.
Yeah. Your beef's with cancer.
Yeah, not AIDS.
Don't slander
You
AIDS. Good name.
homophobe. Yeah. But the other shirt that I want to make is based off of something my friend, our mutual friend Glenn, had said he had spent some time with Liam. Had spent some time with him while he was still, and I'll get into that in a second because it's different. But the idea that Liam was talking to Glenn and his brother about he was just like, he knew he was dying. It's like you spend so much time in your life thinking about like relationships and love and if you want that or what the whole thing is, and it seems I don't know, it's an odd thing. And then Glenn was like, yeah, but what else is there? And Liam's response to him was, everything else. Which is like the best. And I really want to make a shirt that says on the front, what else is there besides love? Like, what is there besides love on the front? So when you see it, it's like, yeah, nice. And then on the back, just everything else.
Perfect.
No, that's great. That is some good food for thought for me for when I'm spiraling out about mortality.
Yeah.
And thinking that I'm not doing enough.
Yeah, there's also like bees. Think about bees. Bees are cool.
Think about bees pretty often.
Yeah. Then
I'm gonna bring you to Hot Dog Annie's.
Yeah, I know.
You're
Yeah.
really gonna think about bees.
Yeah,
Also,
you will.
side note, my brother has bees.
Oh, I'm so sorry. When did he get them?
Like a couple.
Is it
Oh
terminal?
my god. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, a bunch of his bees did die
Oh
in the
man.
winter.
I mean, that happens.
But my brother
Fucking
has
cancer.
He has this Shiba Inu.
Migrating hive theory or whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
cancer. I mean.
I'm so sorry, cancer.
So sorry,
No, but
cancer.
he has this Shiba Inu, and you can't let Shiba Inus off leashes because they'll just run away forever.
Is
Yeah.
that a type of bee?
It's a type of bee. Yeah, it's a little. It's a
Shinu
little
Inu?
bee.
You can walk them.
Yeah, you can walk them.
You can leash them.
But every time he puts
They
him
call
on like,
it-
no, every time he puts him on like a runner to go outside, because my brother doesn't have a. Oh, thank you so much. Every time he puts him on a runner to go outside, he wraps himself around the beehives and tips them all over. Sorry, that's just a side thing.
No, that's
He's
a very
like
good
such a
side
little
thing.
asshole dog. He's really cute, but carry on. He's talking
Take these
about
bees.
bees.
He hates bees.
Bye, bees.
Bye bye, bees. Fuck honey.
I don't even need it.
Fuck Honey's a cool band name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck honey.
Fuck, honey.
The going back, so going back to your friend who passed away, and you think about the things that you when you don't respond and everything. And I actually ended up texting Liam about this. I didn't get too many responses, which like I don't know if it's a weird thing to send, but I guess this is the main thing. Was just like I texted him an honest thing about how I was feeling uncomfortable and how weird that is.
Mm.
And like it's not, because death is an uncomfortable thing, but the idea is just like you're texting someone, you're like, oh, I want to send something to this one, but I feel uncomfortable and everything, where it's just like, no, they feel uncomfortable. Like, you feel weird about it, like,
Yeah.
but they're uncomfortable. And it's another thing too, where when someone gets sick, I think I might have mentioned this before, but when someone gets sick, you end up treating them more like the disease than the person. So you're like, start treating this person as like, oh, this person has cancer. So like
kid
the person, their personality seems to take backseat
Yeah.
Mhm.
to that, and it's an odd thing. But Liam is the type of person where like I felt more comfortable than anybody just being like, how are you really doing? Like, what is happening? What's
Right.
your mind going through
Yeah.
and everything? But then, I realized too, it's like I sent him this message and then I saw him 2 days later, and it's just like, he's in no position to like type out a
Meaningful
this is what I'm going through type
Right.
of thing. I get tired after like writing not at all is what he like, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Totally.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of people too, when someone dies, where they think that like, I wish there were more things I had done. I wish there was more things I could have done, or I should have said, or anything like that. And I don't necessarily feel that's true. Like, I mean, like, there's obviously like you can say stuff, but like if you're forcing yourself to say it, especially at the time, it's a nice thing to hear, maybe, but I don't know.
But also, the other thing too is just like, or what are you gonna do? Spend the rest of your life like beating yourself up over it? Like,
Yeah.
I think about the interactions that I had with this person who had died, and they were perfect. They're fine. That was
Yeah.
the extent of our relationship, and
Yeah.
those were nice. And I guess I kind of didn't want to part of me was like, do I really want to like fuck that up?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm like that was good. That was like a nice time.
Yeah.
You know.
When my first Nana died, I did not end up going to the hospital before she passed away. I was getting phone calls to go, and there's a weird thing about that where, like, it's odd the lack of regret I have towards that, and it's like, you know, I feel bad that, you know, she didn't see me, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going through her head. It's impossible to know. I don't know. There's also a part too where I always think of just like, if I was in that position, would I want people to see me?
Right.
Would I want people to come in and see me while I'm lying there and everything like that?
Yeah.
And also, like, I would just like to say to people, it's like, if you don't feel comfortable going to the hospital and seeing someone in a state, then don't go and don't feel
Right.
bad about it, because it's you being there and being visibly uncomfortable isn't going to make the scenario better.
No.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know if it'll make you feel better.
Right.
I don't know. I'm happy I got to see Liam, but I think I'm more happy that I got to say some stuff to him. But I said that through text.
Right.
But it's all a weird selfish thing, because, you know, like, everyone takes it their own way. There's no right way to grieve. I feel like I'm rambling now, but
no,
that's the
you're making making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Over here.
it's sad he's gone. He's out of pay. He was struggling for a long time. I think the best thing the best thing he got told was by me. No, the best
Sure.
the thing that I'm happiest that I got to say to him was that, just like he was a really great guy, and it really sucks that he had to go through this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just because,
Yeah.
like I said, I've said it like before, he was a clean living guy, and so it's like one of the like shittiest scenario. Like, he ate well and did and just like, what the hell, man? Like, sorry, cancer.
Yeah.
You fucking dickhead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're a piece of trash, but we still think you deserve to be treated better.
Yeah. Once again, email us. We'd like to hear your story. And then
Cancer, a tell-all.
So then the worst part happened is I ate half a pizza yesterday and fell asleep at 4:30.
Yeah.
Woke up at 1,
Jesus
and then
Christ.
had bad dreams. So that's the worst part of the month.
For sure, by
For
far.
sure. I
It's
did
like
have
this
some crazy
cheeseburger
dreams.
I
Yeah.
ate last
I
week.
had some crazy dreams of like weird spiritual stuff, and I'm not a spiritual guy. I'm not like I can't be an atheist because I don't have the faith in either or.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
so agnostic where it's just like, you can't tell me there's not for either. Like, because you can't prove it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I love atheists who are just like, no, I can prove it through science. No, you can't.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't
kinda,
prove
I
it through
guess, where
science. Like, you
I'm-
can believe it. You have faith that there's no God, and you
Yeah,
have
it's like
faith
the Always
in
Sunny
science.
thing.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
no like
Another stupid science bitch.
Yeah. Which one is that from?
There's the part when they're having the trial because Frank crashed into Dennis and spilt,
Oh, the
Cereal.
cereal.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I haven't
And
I haven't
they're-
seen that in a long time.
and they're
Yeah.
trying to use science, and like Mac proves that God could exist.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do you know there's no God? And he's like, because I've crunched the numbers. The science has been done. He's like, by you? And he's like, no, but people have crunched the numbers. And he's like, so you read this.
Yeah.
So you read someone else's work
And believe it truly.
with, dare I say, faith?
Yeah. Oh, it's like I was talking about that episode the other day, but just the eating cereal in the car park. 'Cause
Yeah.
I still think it's like genius. Like, I would never do it because it's too long between
Yeah.
cereal bites, and I'm a
Also,
quick eater.
milk.
Like,
Milk gets hot. Things
Yeah.
go bad.
but like the way he did it was very impressive, and I love.
Yeah.
I can't remember who he has in the car, but explaining how he does it, and they're
Right.
like, "Wow, it's no, I get what you mean."
Yeah.
So just crazy, weird dreams where it's like I made like a pseudo apology to a god
Yeah.
last night because I'd woken up again at
Thor?
4. What to
Like Thor?
like to anyone who's listening, really?
Sorry,
Like-
whatever God may exist.
And like I told Jen, it's just like every time I like sort of, if I ever do pray, it's always goes like God, Jesus, if you exist, which once again is like not. I'm pretty sure not what they want to hear before you ask for something.
Yeah, like, hey.
Whoever's out there.
But I will say something because there was a lot of.
my face.
I was thinking a lot of things about my my past and everything and regrets that I had growing up and young stuff and just like me being an asshole and shit. I've been an asshole in my 20s too, but a different kind of asshole in my
Wish my
in my
4K
younger
camera
years.
was better.
No, I've been.
Sorry. That's okay.
Take a
Sorry, I'm
picture of
wrapping myself in
Jen
this
wrapping
tablecloth.
herself up in the tablecloth.
No, because you're making a lot of good points, but just what you're saying, feeling like an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, but that's basically it.
no, keep. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm
I'm so sorry. I fucked you up. This fucking tablecloth, and I'm no, but I get dreams like that too. I actually had a bunch of dreams about, like, very realistic dreams about Mike Finch after he died.
Yeah.
And which still currently bum me out. They were
Yeah.
nice ones, but they were almost just like, I was like, these are crazy. They're like the most crazy realistic dreams I'd ever had.
Yeah, that's that's another part of the whole thing too, where it's like Mike Finch was an old friend of mine. I don't know if he consider himself or me one or anything like that, but we can get into that another day. He was also in Bovachevo and a friend of mine, and so it's just it's an odd thing to think about. I had said it to Maddie recently, but half a band I was in is dead,
Yeah, which is
which
nuts.
is like crazy
Yeah.
for like in your 30s.
Yeah.
So that's another weird
Yeah.
part of that.
I know, dude. I feel bad. You've been having kind of a year.
Yeah. So like a lot of that too brought up the Mike stuff again for myself because it's all fresh and rehashing. Which again, I'll talk into this thing about that.
Yeah.
At some point. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Been a shit and shit to think about. But you gotta move on. That was the basic part of those dreams sort of things. I was just really trying to convince myself that, that is you. When you were younger, you were not that person now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you live in the, I think it's an old saying. It's like if you live in the past, you live in regret, and if you live in the future, you live in fear.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like that's the or you live in sadness if you live in the past. And that like I feel it's very accurate. I'm just trying to like I guess that's the sort of thing where it's like I'm trying to come to terms with the idea that if I saw myself when I was younger that I wouldn't just be like fuck you dude, and I would actually just be like hey buddy, let's I don't know. Why don't you relax, or why don't you tell me what's going on, because I'd like to hear what you're thinking right now, because it's not something that was.
And then your old self would be like, fuck you, man.
I would probably break down if someone asked, because that was not something like, and I think about that where it's just like, and it's no one's fault or everything, we're all young and everything like that, but it wasn't. People asking me how I was doing was not necessarily the vibe, or the genuine ask was sort of, it seemed more of like, I was like, I relate myself to like a Richard Pryor, the toy sort of scenario, where it's like, that's the basic vibe I had for the world, where it's just like, I'm just here for this.
Yeah.
Just here for the yucks.
Just here for the yucks for everybody.
No, and I guess it's not like ha funny, but I've been going through sort of the same thing, just kind of reflecting on like how much of a shitbag I felt like in the past, and how I feel like almost now, just with these milestones happening in my life, I feel like I've just been like beating myself up about things for years and like repenting to the point where now I'm like, they call it prepenting.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like actively apologizing for myself before I even do anything bad, because I really like dug myself into a hole, like financially and mentally and like with relationships, and I was just like not doing the things that I was supposed to be doing, and I like have had. It's been like a slow, tough crawl to like some kind of stability and like accepting who I was as a person. Not that it's much different. I'm basically the same. I've always been the same exact person, but my choices haven't always been great. But it's all just part of like a learning experience. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But it's just all part of everything else. But you can't really define yourself for those small things that happen, because if you think about it, if you're going to define yourself by anything, you could do it. You could go the other way.
Yeah.
I helped an old lady to her car once, but I never think of myself as like,
Oh yeah, I'm sure
like
I've
we
done
held
positive.
hands.
I'm
I've
sure-
held hands with so many strange elderly people. I just love it. But it doesn't make me like forget the fact that like I lived in like a horrible shithole apartment like many years ago and like hated my fucking life and like hated everyone else and was like an asshole.
Yeah, because
You
it's
know?
when you hate yourself, it's like we were talking about outside. You don't give a fuck about the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Where
And
it's
you're
like even if you're polite and you're nice to people, like want like face to face, like you don't give a fucking shit.
yeah, exactly.
And it's not the best way. I don't want to tell people how to live a life. It just doesn't seem like it's not. Unless you can continue that,
yeah.
then it just sucks looking back on some of that stuff.
No,
But
it
what are you
does.
gonna do?
But also,
Like,
it's just,
it's part of the gig.
It's-
You
yeah,
hopefully
it's part of
grow
the
and you
whole thing.
learn and like
and it doesn't mean that like there won't be times again in my life where I'm like a fucking dick,
oh yeah.
you know, and I'm fully prepared for that. But or like I've done things that like I just maybe regret, but I don't really. I surprisingly don't really focus on them. I am that type of person who focuses more on the future in like a scary way.
Yeah. I'm
You know?
I'm a past sad guy.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
future sad girl.
Yeah. Future
Sorry,
sad.
future sad
Future
man.
fear.
Man.
This is Big Neil coming at you.
Big Neil, hot
Big
takes from
Neil.
Big Neil.
But yeah, no, it's a
DTF
It's
with
been a weird month.
GEN.
DTF
Yeah.
with GEN. Get at me.
Down to feels.
To feels. To
Anyway.
fields.
That's some vintage
Down
like
to fields.
2012
Yeah.
internet talk.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, feel right in the feels.
To my future girlfriend. That's the I was thinking was that gonna be in my tombstone? No, what was I gonna that was the name of my if I was gonna do a stand up special. To my future girlfriend.
Cool.
The name of it. Or a Luca Turilli album. Was the other name I was going for.
Cool.
Yeah. Really cool.
You're a cool guy.
Ex babies.
Ex babies, huh?
Babies.
So you see in the Mojo verse, there's that's how Longshot was created.
I was just gonna mention Longshot. 4 fingers.
I really like your comment.
He has luck powers and hollow bones like a bird.
Yeah. And the tongue out is always really like, actually. Same time. Oh.
It's a pro move. Pro dork move.
If you want to do pro dark move, push your glasses up and just stick your tongue out. You can have fake glasses if you want.
It's fine. Just this
Fine.
once.
No, don't wear. If I
No,
see
no.
you
I
in-
mean, like, when I say fake glasses,
No,
I mean like
without lenses
without.
and
No,
all.
I mean no glasses and pretend to do it.
Oh yeah.
I don't
yeah.
mean fake wear glasses. Like
If
'cause
you
F
wear
you.
fake glasses, fuck you.
These
Yeah.
are fake. Just kidding.
You might as well be singing. You might as well singing in front of Aerosmith.
Yeah.
For all I give a shit if you do that.
Okay, fuck.
Yeah,
I
that means
hate
I
'em.
do not like them.
I hate your fashion glasses.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler ate my
This is
baby.
my cross to bear
No, he crushed babies.
with his giant.
Also,
lips.
they also say that Steven Tyler has hepatitis C, which I believe is the one you get from eating shit. I've heard otherwise, but I don't think that's right. I'm pretty sure he got it from eating shit.
All right. Well,
That's a good enough time as any.
this is the Crying Gang saying Steven Tyler eats shit. And if you want to, nobody ever does, but the Crying Gang at gmail.com. You can send us your sad stories. We swear we're going to have a guest next time. We hope.
Yep, we do have some
Hopefully.
emails. We will get to those.
get to
Yeah.
them, for sure.
There are
Tony, Loretta,
3 whole
Roxanne.
emails
Roxanne.
Yeah.
of our friends who were bullied into doing it.
Yep.
Yep.
And we'll get to those.
We each went to one of their houses and stood over them as they emailed.
Did the punching.
Yeah, we're going to do this more.
Tell me about
We're
the
going to put out more stuff. We're thinking about some new shows to put on alongside this.
Mhm.
Yep.
We're gonna
Still
try and do.
Crying Gang affiliated, but
We're gonna try and do once a week.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think at least something being posted up.
Little nugget of
Little nug.
entertainment for you.
Yeah.
At least
Also,
2 of the 3.
anybody knows how to monetize this, please tell us so we can all quit our jobs.
Yeah, please.
Thanks so much.
There's a new segment coming up. I guess it might be on one of those like quick ones. It's a part of a project I'm working on. That I've been working on for a long time without
been
anything to
talking
show.
about
I've been
working
talking
on?
about work. I've started. This is my 4th attempt starting this. It is a project called Reviewing the Library. It is one man's goal to take out every item in the library. I feel it's obtainable.
It's gonna be
He's
great.
done one book now.
I have started, but what I'm going to do specifically, it's going to be another project in general, where it's like me
Eric learns to read.
running the gambit, running the
Sounds it
gambit of
out.
the library.
Yeah.
The a lot of people say to me, Eric, how many books do you read in general? Like about 1 a year. But I think if I start taking out 6 a week, I'll get
get
there.
part of-
I get there pretty quick.
Yep.
But I am going to make a genuine effort. I will only give myself a week to do so. So once again, we'll have something posted every week, and I'm going to be reviewing all the books on depression that the library has, starting with "Reasons to Stay Alive" by Matt Haig.
Nice.
Can't wait. Looks like a hot read.
It's hot. It's great
I
to
like
walk
the
around
sky
with
blue
too.
cover.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a very
great cover.
It's a lovely cover. I had read I think I had read
Big print.
and so I think I can do this in a week.
Big
so.
print.
Big print.
Also,
13 pages.
pro tip:
That's it.
Yeah.
I have faith in you.
you can just read the first and last sentence of every paragraph,
Oh shit. Thank
and
you.
it'll give you the.
This one says, I'll do the last chapter right now. Sunrises, sunsets, the thousand suns and worlds that aren't ours but shine in the night sky. Thank you. Sorry I ruined the book for you guys.
Wow.
Fuck, you really gave it
Based
away.
on
Spoiler
just that,
alert.
I'd say I fucking hate that book.
Yeah, I know, yeah. No, I had read part of this book once, I think when I was starting reviewing the library at another point. But he had a really great point already about, this is the reason that I picked this one out first, is because he has a great point about how depressed people are actually still afraid of dying.
That's,
And the idea that where it's like people think is like, oh, if you're so depressed, like why haven't you killed yourself or anything? Yeah, it's because it's terrifying.
Yeah.
The thought of it is still like, doesn't matter.
nothingness is still
Yeah, it's equally as terrifying, if not more so.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to read this. Excited to start taking out all the books
Like,
and magazines and
like
everything like that.
CDs,
Uh,
DVDs, VHS,
Magazines, video games, all of it,
all of it.
all of it.
Also, they have
Um,
audiobooks.
I know, yeah. Audiobooks is a hard one for me, but
Yeah.
we'll give it a whirl. And I will just say real quick that this one, the Crying Gang ones, I'm going to genuinely try and read. It's a more amusing idea for the other stuff, but I
Yeah.
am going to make a genuine effort for this. For the
Definitely.
the other ones are going to be a lot of like, I got to page 23. I like the print.
Nice and
It's a
big.
cool cover.
Yep.
It's hard to walk around with. People look at you weird.
It was a good weight.
It was a
Felt good in my hand.
yeah. It didn't like that it didn't fit in my pocket, although I thought it could.
It was close.
Yeah.
A little too wide.
Chico's would be the
Yeah.
pants of choice.
That's my current review. Or cargo pants, if I had one of those. It'd probably fit in one of those disgusting pockets.
Smart.
You know what I mean? The gross ass pockets right above the
Disgusting.
knee.
Yeah, everybody that wears cargo pants.
Yeah.
So
Not me, man.
Nah,
me.
not us.
Only, yeah, well, I hope everybody's doing well. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's perfect.